of stealing bases. Try to control him. Had a couple doubles last night. Keep him off base.
The other man that has been kept off base is the leadoff batter as B.J. Upton stands in. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it away. We're underway. It is 66 degrees. Clear skies. A little breeze blowing. Circling out towards left field at the start of our game here tonight. About 11 miles an hour as you see. Joe Maddon says I'm going to keep Upton in the leadoff spot even if he is hitting 160, even if we are a month and a half in. He did not get spring training. He's really struggling at the plate, but he says I've got to believe he's going to come around, and I don't want to take that confidence away from him. But right now it's tough at the top of the order for Tampa Bay.
Well, it is when you're trying to win games and score runs, and your pitching's not the way it was last year, and obviously he's a big part of the offense.
Ferguson will miss down low to him, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
And you'd like to hope, if you're the Orioles, that Tom Hallion, who's doing the home plate umpiring, is going to call the knee-high strike. That's where Brad Ferguson wants to live.
And that is in there for a strike right where he wanted it.
And B.J. Upton, what does he do? Turn around and said, "Are you sure that?" Well, he didn't say that. He said,
he asked it in his eyes. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Upton, and this one's played by Moore. Got to hustle to throw, and nice play. And Mora may be hurt. Melvin Mora, after he made the throw, could not put pressure, it looked like, on that left leg or knee.
Well, again, the ball hit very sharply. You make a move, and boy, you just don't know what happened. These are Esteuris over there, Richie Bancel, the head trainer for the Orioles, Dave Tremblay right behind him. Again, the hamstring, he had problems early on the disabled list. Ball hit sharply, and there you get the feet set. And then the short hop there catches it. Now, did he catch? Oh, yeah, it looks like he caught. And I don't know, somehow turned that left knee underneath.
Made a very strong throw, as you see. I mean, that could easily have been a one-hop throw, but he got it on the fly, so he put pressure on to do that.
But watch him right here. Watch the left knee kind of get caught right down there on the ground, and then he comes up. But as you said, Gary, watch the. I don't know if we take that a little farther. I guess we're not. So Richie probably saying, "Oh, what does it feel like?"
Looks like the knee where the Orioles bench is, as we said, very short already in tonight's ball game. And if he had to come out of there, probably Ty Wigginton, who's the DH tonight.
Well, the Oriole bench is thinner than Twiggy.
Yeah. For those who remember
Twiggy. Well, you can get the message. Kind of.
If she turned sideways, she disappeared. I think Melvin's all right and going to hang in. So a fine play by Moore to start the ball game, and he will stay in. We'll see if that affects any of his play later on, but obviously able to put weight on it right there. So one down, and Kyle Crawford coming up. Crawford's got a 7-game hit streak that he extended in the ball game last night with the 2 for 5 that he put up. 10th in the league in average coming into today's play at .336, and he has had multi-hit games for 5 consecutive ball games. He has really been on a tear at the plate. He will take that one for a strike, and of course continues to be the base stealer supreme around baseball. Ferguson trying to get these 2 speedsters out at the top of the order. Will miss inside with that. 2-1.
Yeah, Brad's last start was a good one, and he gave up 11 hits, but he scattered them, only walked 1. Probably wouldn't have given up the 3 runs if he had turned a double play. Good pitch right there and a hitter's count. He's going to be around the plate, and he's very, very easy to play behind. Very quick, gets the ball, high energy kid. Boy, you got to really root for him because he's such a nice guy. And I guess the question, Gary, is, you know, he's going to throw the ball, or at least try to throw it down the strike zone. Is it going to sink, or is it just going to be a low fastball?
He needs to get the ground balls, doesn't he?
He really does, and that's what he needs to live with. And how do you do that? Used a changeup real well in the last game against the Twins.
Fouled that one straight back. He has never faced the Rays before. He is, of course, just a rookie. The numbers that stand out are the fact that he's been hit so hard for average, .344. Left-handers at 324, right-handers at 358. Those are big numbers. Grounded down to first, foul, but the Orioles have won 3 out of the 4 games that he started.
Well, run support has a lot to do with it, but also my first roommate in the major leagues was Robin Roberts. He was 38. I was 19 when I got here in 1965, and Robin used to pitch 12, 13 hit shutouts because there's a kind of a sequence to it. Get the first guy out, don't walk a whole lot of guys, throw the ball down the strike zone, get double plays.
That one right back to him. Good pitch. Last speed that tailed away gets the out. Crawford's retired. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Oriole defense. The ground ball pitcher, Montanez, Jones, Markakis, the outfield. Already seen Melvin Moore. Let's hope he's all right. As Turris, Roberts, Huff, Chad Moeller will do the catching. But the one thing, and I think we saw it right there, is to impress me, he's starting to use his changeup a little bit more. So he's not going to be as predictable.
If he can do that, keep these hitters off balance. Name of the game. Here's Longoria. Longoria will take the first pitch for a strike. He does that so often because he is such a good hitter when behind in the count. Just the confidence of it. 5th in average, 1st in RBIs. His road average now is up to 373, which is the 4th best in the American League. And Mr. Quiet at the plate as an 0-2. That one to the hole as Torres backhands it. Long throw and good play. So a couple of fine plays on the left side of the infield. We'll take a look at the Orioles lineup when we come back. Into this game. Here's the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the O's, it'll be Roberts, Jones, and Markakis, Huff, Mora, and Montanez, Wigginton, Moeller, and his Turris. Adam Jones' first multi-homer game, 2 of them last night.
Take a look at our PNC scouting report on Jeff Neiman at 6'9", high ceiling. Yeah, well, the #1 draft choice back out of 2004. 2 other guys from Rice University. Melvin Moore, as we mentioned in the opening, hit the grand slam. Gary, you talked about that. The Orioles got a 5-0 lead off them back in early April when the Rays came in, and he's been off track in his last 2 games. He got roughed up in New York. I watched the game the time before down in Tampa Bay against Boston, so ineffective in both of those. You know, he's got, throws anywhere from 88 to 94. He's got a curveball, slider, and changeup, just didn't command it.
So he'll try again with a 2-3 record. He is 2-1 lifetime against the Orioles with a loss this season. Brian Roberts 2 for 7 off him. Will take the first pitch for a strike. Brian has seen his average dip down to the 281 mark. As Brian has had a tough time of it here during the homestand after that tremendous April. Last 11 games hitting only a 133. Iwamura will make the play. Roberts is retired and 1 down. And the multi-homer young man will come to the plate. Consecutive at-bats against Andy Sonnenstein in the ball game last night. Adam Jones delivered 2 home runs, 1 in the first and 1 in the second inning. And we welcome you who were watching the Nationals game against the Giants. Final score 6-3. The Nationals winning it. Unfortunately, Ryan Zimmerman's hit streak ended at 30 in that ball game. We welcome you to Camden Yards. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, and Amber Theo Harris for bonus coverage. And we're just underway. Bottom half of the first inning. Tampa Bay was retired 1-2-3 by Brad Bergeson, who's making the start for the Orioles. Jeff Neiman, right-hander, 26-year-old rookie on the mound for Tampa Bay. Adam Jones on the off-speed breaking ball away, 1-1.
Well, that'll work when you throw anywhere again from 88 to 94. You get the fastball count. I think you got to have a lot of respect for Mr. Jones. You mentioned the back-to-back home runs, one on a curveball that was down in the strike zone, and then a 3-1 fastball, and he just waffled it. I mean, he had the kind of swings you're supposed to have, especially on the second one when a pitcher gets behind you.
He hit him hard. 1-1 delivery, and that is taken for strike 1 and 2.
Yep, and right here, Orioles coming back. Tampa Bay had a 5-run lead, taking a 5-1 lead, and then all of a sudden things change on Andy Sonnenstein.
Hit that one twice. Once on the foreswing and once on the backswing, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. You mentioned the fastball and curve. There you see the numbers for him. 9 for 23, 2 homers, 4 doubles against the Rays. Up now to 363 and 25 RBIs, and leads the league in runs scored.
Well, and you're seeing a lot more consistency. Multi-hit games, 11 out of 14, 9 out of 10. Breaking ball misses right there, and that's what we saw the last part of last year, until he broke his foot, and then he came back in September, and it's like he really didn't miss a beat.
Neiman's got a 2-ball 2-strike count on it. 1 down and nobody on. 2-2 to Jones. Hit him, I think.
Nope, I think he dodged it.
It got away. It hit off the glove. Went off the glove of Navarro, inside 3-2.
I think when a guy hits a couple of home runs, you do have to pitch in and out. Right here, 96. So again, we're talking about a number 1 draft choice. He ends up signing. He doesn't pitch for 204 days after he's drafted. And then it's been very, very good in the minor leagues for Tampa Bay.
In the air to right field. Gross. And he's got a try of the warning track. Jones is retired. 2 down. Here's the defensive alignment that's behind the Rays.
Yeah, Crawford, Upton, and Gross. Pretty good outfield. Longoria, they think he's going to win a Gold Glove. Bartlett, terrific shortstop. Iwamura didn't play last night, but he's back. Pena, a couple of errors last year. Only Euclid may be better at first. And then Deoner Navarro has been struggling with the bat, even though he had a couple of good at-bats last night for the Rays.
Now here's Nick Markakis. He's got a 3-game hit streak coming in. 2 down and nobody on. And Nick will take the pitch away. Markakis continues among the leaders in all kinds of offensive categories. 8th in average, 6th in RBIs, 2nd in runs. Here's the 1-0 delivery to him, and he takes that to left field towards the corner. Crawford over, and there'll be no play into the seats. We're going to show you as at some point in the game, you take a look at that bat, and we'll show it later on, but Nick has a 32-ounce, 32-inch bat. It's a very unusual bat, especially for someone with the power that Nick has. It is very short. He's kept the bat short, but kept the weight where he wants it to be, and we'll show you how he's done that. Nick was kind enough to go through the process with us before the ball game. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that's what he gets out of it. A nice compact swing, and he's got himself a base hit. A single with 2 down. What Nick had to do with the bats that came in at 33 length originally was to cut the bat. He literally cut it and then taped up the bottom of it in order to give himself a handle. This is the tape job that he does. He doesn't like to have his fingers below the bat, and he wants something.
I just keep it on there because I feel like yep.
There you go.
Yep.
He doesn't want it sliding off. Now he doesn't have to cut the bats anymore. They're shipping them the way he wants them. Well, it's interesting for a guy is that big to have that bat that looks very small in his hand.
But there's a reason. I mean, the reason he said is that when he was using the 33-inch bat, he was hitting the ball in the area of the bat he didn't want to hit it.
Yep.
So he's got long arms, didn't want to move off the plate or on the plate because then it would change his perspective of the strike zone, which makes total sense.
1-0 delivery on the way. Second inside, Huff.
So if you're hitting the ball, I mean, just think about the logic. If you're hitting it about an inch off the good part, go to a smaller bat. Now all of a sudden, because the bat's a little shorter, you get more good wood. And of course, it never seemed like he had a problem, but he just felt that he wasn't getting the good part of the bat, which is one of the things that you try to do when you hit, to barrel the bat to the ball very consistently.
Aubrey Huff, 2-0 delivery to him. And he told me last night, he said, I want to stay on the plate. I don't want to back off the plate. Nick said, I like being right on top because I like to be able to see the ball. I want to be right on it when I hit it. And that bat, the size of it, helps him do that. Sure is working. Aubrey Huff hitting at 268. Aubrey takes the pitch down low, and he is on. That's a 4-pitch walk surrendered. 2 down, 2 on.
Well, you make a very good point because Wade Boggs, who ended up in the Hall of Fame with over 3,000 hits, he used to, again, he said, I would never ever change my stance. I'd just be in a period of adjustments. And I would say, well, how do you know the inside strike zone? He said, because if the ball's inside my hands, because I stand in the same spot for my whole career, I know it's inside. So what a great guideline. So, right then you've already identified the inside part of the plate.
Yep.
And Boggs was a great out over the plate. Nick Markakis loves the ball out over the plate.
Now Melvin Moore. Can the Orioles do it again? These two teams both score a lot of runs in the first inning. Tampa Bay did not. The Orioles get the chance. 2-on-2 down to Melvin Moore. Melvin with a 3-game hit streak coming into the ball game. 2 for 4 in the game last night. Melvin has pushed across 12 runs so far. Jeff Nevin's delivery to him. Popped it up. First base side. Navarro and Pena. And Pena reaches in. What a catch. What a play by Pena. As he went head first over the railing. And credit the Orioles once he'd made the catch, with making sure he didn't get hurt. A great catch by Carlos Pena. Hit tonight. You've got a chance to win too if you log in and enter at MASNsports.com. Wow.
Yeah, Navarro can't get to it. His arms are too short. Better angle by Carlos Pena. And then what amazes me, look at our starting pitcher, Brad Bergeson, come to the rescue. When the guy leading the league in home runs is about to fall over the railing, I don't know, maybe you let him go. There we go. Brad's going to help him out.
Oh my God! I can't. Did you see him hold himself there?
Well, I think he held the backing of the netting.
He did. But
yeah, caught himself. Yeah. Oh no! I mean,
wow.
Yep. Yeah, and then he's got his right arm is bracing himself.
Oh. Carlos Pena
got him out of the inning.
And a ground ball into the shift. Ryan Roberts, shallow right field. Pena's retired. One away here in the second inning, and let's go to Amber.
Well, Gary, the Rays have stolen a base in 14 consecutive games. They're one of a handful of teams like the Mets and the Angels that are really reverting back to the running game. Some say they're even reminiscent of the 80s throwback teams like the Orioles or the Cardinals. Once a guy like Carl Crawford gets on base, there's not much a defense can do to stop him, but the one thing Brad Bergeson can do to neutralize the stolen base attempts tonight is throw strike one, because if there's fewer pitches, there's fewer chances to run. Gary?
And that's exactly what he'll hope to do throughout the ball game, because there are guys up and down the lineup who will run on this team. That ball fouled back by Ibar, the designated hitter. He's had a solid section of this month going. He has been either 1 or 2 in batting for the entire month of May. He comes in with a 4-game hit streak right now.
Well, he was one of those guys, along with Eric Kinske and Gabe Gross, Zobrist, people like that last year, that got them to be from a team that was under 500, perennially under 500, to a team that they throw another 31 wins on there. And a lot of them had to do with role players playing a specific role and doing it well.
Ibar, and caught by Brian Roberts, and maybe it is a night of the defense. Wow, we're seeing some plays early in this ball game. Roberts deep on the outfield grass to start, and that's the only way he's able to make this play.
Well, the one thing about Ibar, and we've seen it, he's a very good low ball hitter, and once he get to hit. But again, if you're going to play defense behind a pitcher, Brad Bergeson's the guy, because he's not nibbling. He's the one thing, and you could look at, and we'll go through this as that he proceeds through this game. He is not afraid to pitch to contact. This is the poster boy for what the young Oriole pitchers need to do. Throw the ball over the plate. Trust your stuff. And you know what? Some of the guys have better stuff than Brad, but the reasons he's here, because he went to spring training, bunch of injuries, he pitched well. He showed Dave Tremblay, Rick Kranitz, a pitching coach, I am not afraid to throw the ball over the plate.
And Dave Tremblay, the manager, loved him. He was the one name that Tremblay continued to talk about as to who would be here pitching soon, and he is. And you can see why. Gets the strike, 0-2 on Gross. Gross playing in right field in this ball game. And this is the 10th start he's had as they rotate. Kapler, Gross, Zobrist all have had time playing in right field as Joe Madden tries to match him up against whoever happens to be pitching. Ferguson wants to run through the signs again. Ferguson's got a chance to retire the first 6. He's got 2 down here in the second inning. Oh, 2 delivery on the way, and that'll be inside. Gross has done well in his last starts, Jim. 7 for 18 in the last few games he started.
Well, yeah, he's got an opportunity to play. But that pitch right there to Gabe Gross, and again, look at this extension. And the key is to get the ball to sink, not just throw it down, but be nice and relaxed, stay on top of it. And he moves his feet, then tries to throw that breaking ball off the outside corner. Go in and out, change speeds, take your chances.
Count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last year, 16-7 combined minor league record, a 3.10 ERA. He had 26 starts, Class A at Frederick and Double A at Bowie. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Gross. And that'll be fouled off. One of the game's premier pinch hitters gets the opportunity to make the start here in this ball game. Gross has had only 1 at bat in this 2-game set, coming in last night, and 0 for 1. Orioles would love to put this one away. We mentioned at the top they can go by Tampa Bay if they can get the win. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and Gross will take it, and it will miss down low, and a 3-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, the one thing, and I think the difficulty is going to be for Brad, is they're all going to look down. So again, it's just really about trying to make quality pitches, in and out, change speeds, be aggressive. Another thing that may be a little bit better, only 61% of the first batters. Try to work on that number a little bit better.
Ground ball towards short as Torres on the charge. Gloves it, running throw in the dirt. Nice pick. Aubrey Huff. And the D just keeps on flowing in this ball game. We go to the bottom of the second inning, no score. lesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. And by PNC. PNC leading the way. Orioles at home to wrap up this stand and on to Kansas City for a 4-game set that'll start tomorrow night. Jeremy Guthrie, Gil Mesh will kick it off. We'll have the ball game for you coming up at 8 o'clock airtime. 7:30 O's Extra tomorrow night, Kansas City. Montanez will lead it off, bidding to get more playing time. He's making the start in left field. He has collected 2 straight multi-hit games, 2 for 4 in the ball game last night.
A home run during the Yankee series, so very, very good young hitter that has learned how to be a better defensive player.
It's really a chance for him right now to kind of take that job in left field. Here's the 1-0 delivery to him. He will foul that one away. For a young player, what impresses me, Jim, is the confidence he has about him. I mean, not just at the plate, but just being around him. He's a very confident, mature person.
Well, we might even have a chance because it is Wired Wednesday. We're going to talk to the skipper, Dave Tremblay. He had Lou Montanez back in 2002 at Daytona Beach when he was the #1 draft choice, $3 million player.
Into right field straight away. Gross in place. He's got it, and Montanez is retired. 1 away. Hope you'll add Orioles baseball to your family's Memorial Day celebration. The Birds and the Jays are going to have a day game at 1:35 on May 25. First 10,000 fans 15 and over will receive a military-style O's camo cap. The tickets start as low as just $9. To get yours, call the Orioles 888-848-BIRD. Go to Orioles.com. Memorial Day on the 25th. Unbelievable. It's that close. Ty Wigginton takes the pitch up high. Wigginton, the DH in this ball game, got a chance to play left field for the first time this year last night. He said before the game, I love it out there. He said, I played outfield last year, Houston. That one in the air, left center field, hit hard. Upton going back. Upton looking. Wigginton, goodbye, home run. And the Orioles take a 1-0 lead.
Well, they came in last night after PA got hurt and gets a double. I told him he's going to get 3 hits tonight. He's going to have to figure out what they're going to be. Well, there's one of them. For a guy that's supposed to hit the high fastball, well, he ties one on right here.
Oh, come on, ball. Come on. Come on. And away.
John Shelby, first base coach at our Wired Wednesday, wearing the microphone through the first 5 innings of the ball game, watching that one sail. And Wigginton, with John cheering him on, puts the Orioles up as he delivers the home run, his 2nd of the year, his 11th RBI. High in the air, Chad Mollers pop up to short. Bartlett is under it, and there are 2 down. Chad Moller starting behind the plate.
Well, you know, you get a couple of back-to-back fastballs, and it gives you an indication of what happens when you locate one well and you get one out over the plate to a power hitter that likes the ball in that area. Chad Moller can hit the fastball. That ball's up and in. He pops it up. Wigginton can hit the fastball. It's out over the plate. Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
And we'll take a look at our leaderboard presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. As his tourist stands in, shows bunt and fouls it off. The home team averages right now Texas, Boston, and then the O's. The O's are hitting .290 at home. 3rd best in the American League. The Angels and Toronto follow. And part of that is now they have hit 38 home runs here at Camden Yards this year. That's the most in a home park in the American League. And a base hit is Turris. Here's another bat that's showing some consistency in that number 9 spot, as Turris is taking those kind of hits now regularly.
And I asked him today, I said, how many times did you bunt last year? He said about 8 times. We saw him bunt last night because Dave Tremblay is still trying to get Brian Roberts to try to do that. And if you noticed where Longoria was, because he faked the bunt early on, he's playing up on the grass. Now that ball's going through anyway, but how about the high chopper? And again, Brian just doesn't have any interest in it, even though his manager's trying to urge him in that direction.
Gently prod. 2 down.
And it's not that Brian, we all know what a great player. I mean, they just signed him for another 4 years. He's one of the dynamic leadoff guys on base. But yeah, he can hit home runs, and yes, he can hit doubles. He's had 2 years with more than doubles, but if he got on base more, the runs will go up, puts more pressure on the defense. And Robbie Alomar, we were talking about it today, came out, bunted every day at home. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Made himself just a little bit better player, and he was terrific like Brian anyway.
Neiman's got to take a look over there, and that first pitch thrown to Roberts, as Torres was about 30 feet off the bag. I mean, he had an enormous lead.
Well, the one thing
he was thinking about going.
Of all the pitchers for Tampa Bay, they have attempted, and again, this is what the 7th start for Jeff Neiman, 10 attempts already. That's the most. He's 6'9". You got a guy at first base that has stolen 6 out of 6. You would think this is a running situation. And the reason is, number 1, he's probably going to make it. Number 2, if he doesn't make it, you got Brian Roberts leading off the next inning.
Against this big right-hander, the base stealers are 8 for 10. Navarro has thrown out 5 of 23. Lead extended over there as Torres is running. Roberts takes it. Here's the throw. Navarro, no way. You had to go with a lead and jump Neiman was giving him.
Yeah, and it almost appeared that they pitched out. Gene Mauch used to always say, was that a pitch out or was that a high fastball?
Good lead. Good jump. Good jump. Out of way.
T-Bone's got the stopwatch going over there, timing the delivery to the plate. And it was a great jump. So as Torres gets in scoring position, Roberts took the pitch, and it's 3-0. Ryan takes another one for a strike. Grounded out his first time up.
Well, those are the things you have to do. Your advanced scouts certainly give you the numbers. They give you the time that you release the ball. They have the throwing times of DeAndre Navarro behind the plate. His numbers are down this year, probably because of the fact that Neiman's in the starting rotation.
It doesn't help.
Nope.
3-1 delivery to Roberts. That'll be fouled away. And it'll be 3-2 as Torres going back. Ryan Roberts looking for a 2-out RBI. He's driven in 13 on the season. As the Orioles continue to put that number up, they've had a tremendous number with runners in scoring position at 301 overall this year. They've been among the leaders in that department. And now the 2-out RBI numbers have started to pick up as well. They are 234 with runners in scoring position and 2 down. 3-2. Ryan Roberts up high. Second walk surrendered by Neiman.
Yeah, nice at bat by Bryant. When you're struggling, take the walk. Let Adam Jones. I mean, that's how all the good offensive teams do it. If you're not going to pitch to me, I'll go down to first base and let the next guy take care of business.
Well, here's a guy who's been doing that. Adam Jones stands in, flied out to right field his first time up. Adam overall 375 with runners in scoring position and a very respectable 273 with 2 down. He's got his Torres on at second base, Roberts on at first. A 1-0 lead on the home run by Ty Wigginton in the game. Neiman gets a high strike call.
Yeah, that's my back in the day strike right there. The hanging slider that, in fact, I think it's so high that Adam doesn't even swing at it.
And Jones has not had a hit off Neiman in the 6 times he has faced him. Oh-1 is Torres being held by Iwamura. That one a chopper towards the middle. They got to force it second. Got to go to first though, and no play. Bartlett had trouble picking that one up. It'll be an infield hit for Adam Jones, and the bases are loaded. Jones goes down as though, well, he turned and started to grab his hamstring at first base, but then didn't.
Yeah, pretty good pitch by Neiman. A little sinking fastball, and Jason Bartlett just doesn't have a play. He goes, why throw it away? We're already down 1-0. And again, slow infield here at Camden Yards. Maybe didn't get the handle on it. I don't think he had a play anyway.
D. Jones kicking that right leg. I think there was a little twinge there. He doesn't want anyone to see it. He's trying to kick it out. And he gets his lead now. Bases loaded, 2 down. Nick Markakis had a single his first time up. 4-game hit streak for Nick. And that is a strike taken. This is Jones running down. John Shelby, first base coach.
He's hurt. He's hurt. I know it.
Adam wasn't going to touch it, though. He started to reach back and then pulled his hand away. Like, nah, not going to go there. I'm all right. Marquez hitting at 354. Big 2-out chance right here. Neiman misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, a lot of times you get a runner, he'll go across the base, and if he goes into obviously fair territory, he's made an attempt. We saw that last year. It's almost like T-Bone was saying, you know what, he's hurt. That he's not going to second. Yeah. Don't be going to second. Somebody's standing there already.
Just realized we put this pitcher and this batter together. We got Neiman Marcus. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Oh, pretty good curveball.
Speed pitch, 1 and 2.
Well, you know, I look at Jeff Neiman, and I mean, here's a guy, again, #1 draft choice, 17-0 his sophomore year at Rice. Reminds me a little of Daniel Cabrera as we look at the bases full of Orioles. Better curveball, better slider, better changeup, maybe a better fastball at this juncture, better windup, but very, very inexperienced.
1 ball, 2 strike count delivery. Marquez will take it up high. Nick has a 1 for 3. With the bases loaded, that one was a grand salami. Orioles with a run in on the home run by Wigginton. Trying to add to it here is Turris, Roberts, and Jones. The base runners for the O's. 2 outs. And swung on and missed. Neiman gets the strikeout. The Orioles get a run on 3 hits. They will leave the bases loaded. And on Wigginton's long ball, the Orioles have a 1-0 lead. And Theo Harris down at field level with us here. The comfort level for the Orioles at home, Jim, especially for the offensive players, seems to really have settled in already.
Well, yeah, I think this is a great hitting ballpark. The infield's a little bit slow, but the ball's carrying. Ever since some of the buildings been built out in left center, seems like this is a good hitting ballpark. But again, I think again it's a good place to pitch. The pitching's better at home. Record's better at home, 11-10. You know, I think the one thing they have to change. You talked about you know, having one of the best batting averages at home. They're only hitting 241 on the road. What are they, 3-9, 2-9 on the road? So they got to change those kind of things. And how do you do it? You win tonight. You go on the road. Kansas City's playing well. I hope you get your pitching. You got your ace tomorrow. Guthrie, who is actually throwing the ball very well, and all of a sudden you really try to have a positive road trip.
Watching Imamura lead it off here for Ferguson tonight, it would be important for the Orioles and for him to take this ball game deep as he can and give that bullpen a little rest. Play made and he gets the out. And right now, that sinker ball you were talking about is being chopped into Mother.
Well, you're right. And you know, to me, this is an exciting part of the game. The Orioles, again, they lost 11 straight years. They're looking for young pitchers. You got a young pitcher on the mound. You got a young center fielder, hit 2 home runs. You got a young right fielder. I mean, this is a ball club. You know, as Tim Kirchin said in the pregame, that looks like it's going to get a lot better quicker. Now, it may not happen tonight, but a lot of good indications. And again, as I mentioned, if I'm a young pitcher, and I don't know know how many times the guys that, they're all around in Frederick and Bowie and, even in Norfolk, if you're watching the opportunity that Brad Bergeson's getting, if you're a young pitcher, it could happen to you. So, again, this is our poster boy. Hope he pitches well. Pretty good, tough team to do it against.
You know what I think's happening, Jim, is with this, what's happening with this offense. The offense may force the pitching issue a little sooner maybe than the Orioles organization intended to have to move, because this team's got a chance to win. I'm not talking about big, enormous turnarounds thing, but I'm talking about day-to-day competitive ability to win.
Well, I agree with you 100%.
That ball hit in the air high and deep left center field. That is way back, and goodbye home run. About 5 rows deep on that shot, and that will tie the ball game up. When you've got this kind of a hitter in the top 10 in average and hitting the long ball, hitting at the bottom part of your order, you've got something going, and Bartlett's got something going. 1-1, his 5th homer of the year.
Well, this is going to be the first home run, and again, it's not that you don't trust your stuff. You just make a bad pitch. You can see right there, great side angle, belt high, 5th home run of the year. Most he's ever hit is 7, off to a great start. So for Brad Bergeson, that's the 4th home run of the year. All the other home runs were by left-handed hitters.
So as you said when talking about Robin Roberts earlier, another thing Robin still says today: if I'm pitching well, I can afford to give up a solo home run here and there, and I'm not going to lose the ball.
Well, again, it's the 3rd inning. You didn't walk somebody before. It's not a multi-run home run. And, again, you encourage your defense to play well behind you. Even though the ball went out of the ballpark, you're pitching quickly, you're throwing strikes.
Navarro, man, you got to get out, because right now he is not hitting the baseball. Very tough start for the catcher who had such an outstanding season last year. Trying to pick it up, as you see in those numbers over the last 6, but still a batting average of just 186 on the year, and he will foul that one straight back. We talked about the Orioles and their 38 home runs here at home, which is the best in the American League in a home ballpark. The Orioles have also surrendered 35 home runs, and the Orioles staff has been at the top or bottom, depending on how you view it, of most home runs surrendered in the American League. 1-2 pitch, swung on, and got him to chase it. Tag will be put on. Gets the strikeout. And for Bergeson, a K following a home run. That's pretty good work.
Well, it is, and nothing changes. I mean, if I'm Jeff Neiman and I throw a ball down the middle of the Wigington and a home run guy hits it to left center field, I go, you know what, I made a mistake. Right here, pretty good breaking ball. And Navarro, as you mentioned, struggling. Now, again, a very simple windup. I asked Brad the other day, I said, you always, it's kind of a little Kevin Brown where he looks towards third base. He said, I've always done it.
That one hit in the air down the line, right field. Markakis going over will not have a play. And back to the top of the order, and B.J. Upton, who grounded out his first time up. And there are 2 down. A run on 4 hits for the Orioles, a run on 1 hit for the Rays. The home run there is Bartlett, who delivered the long ball. Bartlett's had 2 homers against the Orioles this season, and that is the 4th RBI he's had against the O's. Upton, on the other hand, is 1 for 14 against Oriole pitching this year. Ground ball down to third, foul, and a 2-strike count on Tampa Bay's leadoff batter.
Chris, you're 1 swing away from a home run. He led all their hitters, as you mentioned last night, Gary, with 7 home runs in the postseason. I mean, he's a dynamic player coming off shoulder surgery. And as you mentioned, they're going to give him time. I'm not sure you have to give him time at the front of the line.
That one hit in the air, shattered back, center field, base hit. Well, with Bartlett hitting the home run, Jim, one of the things that Joe had talked about, considered, with Bartlett being as hot as he is, why not move him up to the top of the order and move Upton down a little to take some of the pressure off him?
Yeah, and Ewan Moore is another guy that led off for a couple of years, so they have some options. And I think Joe Maddon's a very positive guy, and he's going to give B.J. Upton a chance to. It's not that he doesn't know how to play this game, even though it's only his 3rd year. He needs to get healthy.
He's on at first base. Here is Carl Crawford. 2 hits on the board now, both in this inning for Tampa Bay. Crawford grounded out his first time up. Comes in with that 7-game hit streak. He leads the American League in infield hits. Throw over is going to skip away. Runner not going.
Could have made it.
That hit him, and it hurt him.
Well, that'll keep you from running. So Upton, another guy, 44 steals, and he starts almost facing second base, and when he comes back in, right at the tricep of the right throwing arm.
And it's our Famous Dave's Exmo. Come on in to Famous Dave's for the best tasting, most award-winning ribs in America. That wasn't the ribs, that was the elbow, and obviously hurt him. That won't affect his running, however.
Yeah, 7 out of 9.
Crawford takes it outside. 2 down.
Well, this ball club comes to the ballpark with 54 steals, only been caught 7 times with track shoes. And as you mentioned, all the sabermetricians of baseball, well, stolen bases don't really help you. Well, it helps this team. Now, some home runs, 3-run home runs like Earl Weaver used to root for, that would help him too.
And they do get some of those, so they have a pretty good mix of offense on this Tampa Bay team. They come in 5th in average and 4th in runs. In the home run department, they're 4th in the league in homers. And as Jim says, you combine that with being number 1 in stolen bases by a country mile, you got a lot going for you.
And pretty good on it, base percentage.
That one in the air to left center field. Montañez is back, and he's got it. Crawford retired. So's Tampa Bay. A home run by Bartlett has tied the ball game up 1 apiece. There just seems to be an aura of confidence about him, both as a player and as a person. You know him much better. Is that a fair statement?
Very fair. He has matured, become much more responsible as a person and a baseball player, takes it much more serious. And to his credit, you can see, the results. His body language is better. His preparation is better. The kid's grown up a great deal. We're happy for him. He's made some very big contributions to the club. And I think the main thing with him is he looks relaxed and he looks like he belongs here.
Well, talking about feeling relaxed, how about Brad Bergeson? Home runs, they never bothered me as long as they were solos. And the guy didn't hit a low and away fastball, but throws strikes, great to play behind. You got to be happy. I called him the poster boy for the young Oriole pitchers because you gave him an opportunity in spring training. He seized it, went to the minor league, pitched well, and now he's back. And if I'm a minor league pitcher, I got to think, hey, if he can do it, I got a great opportunity.
He's a good model to follow. I like the first inning. He's throwing ground balls. He's working fast. He's got a lot of confidence. I saw it in spring training. I keep referring to the game when night game he pitched against the Cardinals, and he was facing their A team. He gave up 3 runs in 1 inning. Didn't affect him at all, and I think that's a real good sign of his maturity. Jim, you know that. You're out there all by yourself, and if you don't have confidence in yourself, what do you think the guys behind you are going to play like?
Aubrey Huff gets an infield hit, hitting against the grain right there. So Aubrey leads it off with a single here in the 3rd inning, bringing up Mora. Skip, we saw Adam Jones pull up at first base when he was on last time. Is he okay?
I just went down to the end of the dugout and checked with him. That's why I was a little bit late getting down here with you guys. And he said that his first step out of the batter's box, it grabbed on him, but he said it doesn't bother him. I said, hey, you got to be honest with me. He said, no, it doesn't bother him out in the outfield. I got to watch him real close there and rely on Richie Bancels and see if he's okay. You know, he's much too valuable for us.
Dave, you know, you're going to embark on a 9-day road trip, and or actually, what, maybe it's 10 days, and the club not playing nearly as well on the road as home is obviously it's something that you care passionately about. But is there a way to change this? I mean, is there something that you think that you have to do that you can put your finger on, other than pitching better and maybe scoring a few more runs, the obvious?
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to stay away from the big inning, and once we score and get ahead, we got to tack on runs. I think that's kind of been a thing for us, is tack on runs. And a lot of times on the road we've scored early and then the other team has shut us down. I think we need to make better use of the opportunities that we have for all 9 innings. And you know, I can see us turning the corner. We're playing a lot more relaxed. We're playing a lot more confident. I'm looking forward to this trip, but obviously, you know, we want to win more games.
Did you just put a hit and run on?
I can't tell you that. You'd figure out my science.
Is it on again?
No, I just went to the bill of my cap. I took it off.
0-2 count here, and that one is going to be popped up. Iwamura at second base, and he's got it.
Skip, heck, you know, I got to do these things live. We got to play the game too. You know? I know we got to pay the bills.
Hey,
by doing it, but we got to still play the game.
But see, you're proving you're a multitasker in this day and age of multitasking.
I'm trying. You know?
Do you put that on in a situation like that, trying to stay out of the double play? Is that a primary reason? When those two guys, especially with Huff and Mora?
Well, especially with the guys coming up behind them, you know, we don't have exactly the fleetest of foot coming up behind. So once you score and get ahead, let's see if we can keep that momentum going.
All right, Lou Montanez up. We got to let the skipper give his signs here. Dave, thanks very much. Always a treat. We appreciate it.
That was fun tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Skipper of the Orioles, Dave Tremblay. Part of our Wired Wednesday. So the hit and run was put on. We don't know what that sign is, but we know the takeoff sign is touching the bill of the cap.
Well, he gave Wigginton the home run sign early on. Maybe he can come back with this one for Lou.
Runner goes, hit and runs on again. Here's the throw, and Aubrey Huff is out. So Huff retired. Montanez did not act as though he thought the hit and run was on, but it can't be a straight steal.
Yeah, even though the ball's over his head, he's got to try to make contact if it was on. So you can see up and in. I mean, he doesn't even make an effort, and Aubrey almost makes it. And he doesn't steal much. He was 4 for 4 last year, so that stretches down the tubes in a way.
That takes that leadoff man off for Navarro. Now he's thrown out 6 of 24. And Montanez with a 2-0 delivery, and that is on the outside corner for a strike. He flied out to right field, his first time up. Ball game tied 1-1, bottom of the 3rd inning. Jeff Neiman, 26-year-old right-handed rookie, working. He has walked 2 and struck out 1. Brad Bergeson on the other side, no walks and a strikeout.
He actually went when he went to Rice University, and he was 17-0 as a sophomore. The Orioles drafted Wade Townsend. They had 3 guys: Philip Humber, who signed with the Mets, Townsend, who was drafted, all in the 1st round. Pretty good team down there.
Pretty good. Wow.
NCAA champs.
Inside, and he walked him. So that is going to be the 3rd walk surrendered. Neiman had given up 18 walks in 28 innings coming into the ball game, and he's continuing that pace here tonight.
So the pitch count at 52, and it's a good way to get your bullpen in there a lot earlier than Joe Madden wants him. Again, pitch count such an important part of the game now.
Last 2 starts have been very tough for Jeff Neiman. He's had a 9.95 ERA in those starts. 8 runs, 10 hits, and just 6 1/3 innings off him, and 7 walks. Boy, he's got it lined up. That's a hard foul ball by Wigginton. And he delivered in his first at bat. Home run number 2 of the season. A solo shot. That is the Orioles' run. The 5th hit off Neiman this year. All of them by right-handers. Runner at first, 2 down. And that one hit to the gap left center. Man, is he tic-tacking that ball. Coming over to third base, Montanez. He'll be held Relay cut off. It'll be a double by Wigginton. When you hear that kind of sound coming off a bat, you're talking about a hitter who's right on the money.
Well, I said he's going to get 3 hits. He's got a home run. He gets a hanging slider, and he's all over this pitch. And again, I'll tell you, yeah, it's a good point. You're on the mound, the crack of the bat.
And a little kid. Go, go, go! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on!
Taking him around second, John Shelby, first base coach, on our Wired Wednesday. Well, here's another 2-out chance. Chad Moeller popped out first time up and will take a strike. Chad getting his 10th start behind the plate, hitting .233 with a home run, and that is his lone RBI. It came on the homer. He's got 2 in scoring position, tie game. 0-1 delivery to him outside. 1-1.
Yeah, and I think the book on him, you can see 93 as he just pulled that fastball off the plate, is to either stay out of the middle of the plate up, because that Chad, most of his hits have been there, and then try to, because he's not playing that much, get him out with breaking balls. And you do have, actually going to pitch around him to get to his turf, which you make your pitches here.
That one the gap, left center field, coming back though to Upton, and he's got it for the out. No runs on a couple of hits. A big caught stealing on Huff, the leadoff batter, who reached. It remains 1-1.
Very thin tonight. Felix PA is still recovering from food poisoning. He had to leave the game in the 4th inning yesterday and go to the hospital because of it. We're told he's still very weak, although he is here sitting in the dugout. Dave Tremblay does not want to have to go to him unless it's absolutely necessary. So he could be used in an absolute emergency situation. Also, Luke Scott was expected to be available off the bench today as a pinch hitter, but he took batting practice, and after batting practice told Dave Tremblay he is not available. He's still feeling pain in that shoulder. Gary?
Boy, that really does shorten the bench. Doesn't leave you with many choices as the ball game goes along.
Yeah, you got your backup catcher Greg Zahn. So
Evan Longoria, a 1-ball 1-strike count, grounded out his first time up. Interesting note on he and Pena that they bat back-to-back in this lineup, and with the home runs and RBIs that they have put up, each with at least 10 home runs and 30-plus RBIs. That one to short is Torres, a great stop, up with it, long throw, and he got him. And another fine defensive play in this game.
Well, why don't you finish that note? We'll show you his Torres. He already went to his right to throw out Longoria, and right here, this is why they got him.
Boy,
very good fielding, Gold Glove caliber shortstop, won a Gold Glove for the Dodgers. And again, you're ready to field when Bergerson's pitching. You're not on your tiptoes. You're not back on your heels because he's throwing the ball over the plate.
And gets that leadoff batter out of there. Now Pena, the home run leader, grounded out his first time up. what this combo of Longoria and Pena have done in home runs and RBIs this early. That one deep to right field. That is in the gap. What they've done is collect a lot of hits. Jones going back to get it. He's thinking about 3, but he'll pull up there with a double. What they've done hasn't been done since Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra were together in 1956 with the Yankees, and that's in the first 30 games have at least 10 home runs and 30 RBIs by a twosome on the same team. The last time that happened was 56, Berra and Mantle.
See, they try to come in on Carlos Pena, and they don't even get it in. It runs back in the middle of the plate. And again, talk about a power hitter. Stays on that backside, uppercuts the ball right in his sweet zone, and he hits a kind of it's almost like John McEnroe was playing. Top spins one out into right center field for a double. And Adam Jones is not moving well.
No.
Very gingerly going after that ball. Not that he should have caught it by any means, just the way he played it once it got by him to the wall. You certainly long term hope he's well. Hamstrings are not what you want old or young players to have to suffer through.
Willie Ibar, that gets away. He's going to go to third. Throw by Moeller's not going to be in time, and he did stay in the bag, so Pena gets third base. And the umpire got hurt. Tom Hallion, the home plate umpire, right off the hand. Boy, this is a tough night.
Well, hamstrings, hands, all kinds of injuries.
Knees.
Yeah, it looks like a changeup. Melvin Moore strained his left knee early on the first play of the game. Maybe a changeup, and you could see it bounce. Chad's trying to get the glove out because it's out in front of home plate.
Bounced right up and squarely on the hand. It is a wild pitch charge to Ferguson, which will move the runner up. And the question whether Tom Hallion's going to be able to go on here. He may not. Jerry Crawford at first base is the crew chief.
And that right is very important if you're a pitcher, because that's the one they put up when they call strikes. Now again, the short hop, and most umpires, they try to hide behind the catcher. They try to kind of keep as catchers do, the throwing hand. They'll actually keep the knuckles a little bit closed. Buck Martinez certainly knows a lot about it.
Trying to see if he can grip the baseball, whether he's got full strength.
Yeah, and I think that's to see if your hand may be broken or if there's something going on there. And a lot of times, I think we saw it the other night. I was watching one of the games where they give you like a little towel to squeeze to see what kind of hand strength you have.
He's going to throw a circle change, apparently. Ooh. It'll find you, no matter how much equipment they wear. That ball will always find bare skin and bone. Jerry Crawford with his hand on his home plate umpire's back there. And he is going to stay on, so Tom Hallion will hang in there. So far, Mora with a knee, Jones with an apparent of the hammy, and Hallion with the hand, and all of them are still gaming. Hallion knows the only one smiling. Runner at third base, only one away. The infield is going to move in.
Yeah, they're looking over the dugout. Yeah, I mean, Brian Roberts just down 2-0 count, so it's a hitter's count.
Ibar hitting 262 has been one of their hottest hitters, and another pitch way down in the dirt that Chad Moeller has to stop, and the count goes to 3-0. You've got Gross waiting on deck. Game tied at 1-1. And there's the intentional pass.
Yeah, and I think, and the reason you probably do that is, number one, you have a ground ball pitcher on the mound. Number two, he may have been hitting 3-0, as hot as Ibar has been.
Gross coming up. Online voting, Major League Baseball All-Star Games underway at Orioles.com. Vote orange, save green. By voting for your favorite birds 25 times, you could receive a free upper reserve seat after the All-Star break non-prime game. Details, Orioles.com/vote orange.
And at this juncture of the game, you have to go back to what Dave Tremblay, the Oriole manager, talked about on the road. Stay away from big innings.
Gross, ground ball towards the hole. He's going to base hit it, an RBI. Pena will score. Roberts was playing him around towards second base. and he put it right through that vacated hole, and it is a 2-1 Tampa Bay lead.
Well, what left-handed hitters try to do with runners at first base, first and third in this case, is try to get a ball they can hit into right field. Second basemen, what do? They come in a step or two because they're looking for the double play ball. Get to it a little bit quicker. Brian could have no chance of catching this ball, but Gross did exactly what a left-handed hitter is supposed to do. Look for a ball to hook. What you try to do if you're pitching, down and away. Maybe you get the ground ball to second and get the double play. Even if you get the single to left field, you still keep the double play in order. So again, a young pitcher doesn't make a great pitch, and Gross takes advantage of it.
And Tampa Bay gets a 2-1 lead as Gross delivers the RBI, his 6th of the year. Still runners at first and second, 2 down, and Kanori Iwamura, who grounded out his first time up. Iwamura hitting at 274, and he will put that one up in the air. Mora is Torres and Montanez who makes the catch. Runners have to stay at first and second, and there are 2 down.
You know, very rarely in this day and age, unless you're pitching against Roy Halladay or maybe Greinke, Orioles will see him on Friday. Zach Greinke, are you going to get beat 2-1? So again, it's just minimizing the damage. The way you do that, the intentional walk this inning, that was only to pitch around Ibar. Just try to make a pitch. This guy hit a home run the last time. Bartlett, one of their best hitters, as you can see, with runners in scoring position, average-wise. Make some adjustments, try to make a good pitch, get the out, let your hitters come up.
2 down now. Bartlett with runners at first and second base, and he will take the pitch down low. Home run came with 1 away. Base is empty. He's got 5 of them now and 14 RBIs on the season. Mason Bartlett, 7th in the league in average, and the leading shortstop batting average number in the American League. That is outside to him, and the count goes to 2-0.
Well, he's got Jeter by what, about 100 points now? I think Derek Jeter at 273, the next highest hitting.
That's got to be another concern for the Yankees. Jeter had to sit yesterday. He's supposed to be playing today. Pitch is taken on the outside corner for a strike. Kevin Youkilis of Boston had to be put on the DL. The year of the oblique continues. They tried to get him well without DLing him. Didn't work. So Youkilis on the DL, and Jeter set last night, apparently playing against Toronto in the ball game tonight. I take it back. He's not playing tonight either. Swung out and missed. And the count goes to 2-2.
Well, we told you what Beckett tried to do. Josh Beckett with the Red Sox threw him 5 straight curveballs on Sunday night because Bartlett's a real good fastball hitter. I thought he had hit 7 home runs, and let's take a look again our expo, and this is a real good breaking ball and a fastball count. He has already tied his career high for home runs.
He's hitting 470 off the fastball, 6th best in the majors, actually. So a slider gets him. Second strikeout. Ferguson has picked up a run in, and Tampa Bay has taken a 2-1 lead.
Nice play. Got some hops. Next time, just let it fall in the dugout. Let the ball go. That's what. Oh, man, what a play.
John T-Bone Shelby on our Wired Wednesday, and some of the comments from that dugout in the first base coach's box, talking to Carlos Pena, who made that great catch in the dugout. John telling him to just let it go.
Yeah, exactly. Tell you never could have had Wednesday with Weaver. You had a 7-second delay, or maybe it had to be more like 30 seconds.
Would have been a lot of bleeps. Would have been a lot of bleeps. We thank John for our Wired Wednesday mic up down there. Orioles trailing now 2-1 as we go into the bottom half of the fourth inning. Has had a single his first time up. Tampa Bay probably is a little bit worried because Tampa Bay's on a road trip where they have gone 3-3, but they have had a lead in every one of the games on this road trip. 1-0 delivery as Torres takes it on the inside corner from Jeff Neiman. And the top of the order, Roberts and Jones to follow. Orioles have had 6 hits to the Rays 4. The Rays have got the 2-1 lead. And that one will miss, making Neiman throw, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Both of these teams 5 wins in their last 10 ball games. 2-1 delivery to second base. Iwamura. 1 down. 1 away here in the fourth inning. Enter now at Orioles.com to win the Oriole Park Fireworks Night VIP Experience Sweepstakes. There will be 1 lucky winner, 4 VIP seats. Orioles-Tigers game on May 29. It is the first fireworks night. And you'll get VIP parking, passes to watch batting practice on the field. To enter, visit Orioles.com today. Brian Roberts, a walk. And he's grounded out. Neiman has walked 3. Orioles have had their chances against him. 2 left on in the first, bases loaded in the second, and 2 more in the third. Orioles have been 1 2-out hit away from grabbing the lead. Outside to Roberts, 1-1.
Yeah, he's made a couple of mistakes, but the curveball he threw to Nick Markakis is about as good a curveball as you can throw in a very clutch situation with the bases loaded back in the second inning. But again, if you get the right guys on, you're going to steal some bases.
Roberts takes that to right center field. He got all of it. That'll take a hop and go against the wall. Gross chasing it down. Roberts will go into second base, and Brian's got a 1-out double.
Period of adjustment, no slump. As Terry Crowley, hitting instructor, has said, when a guy, is going through a tough time, you look at film or anything, he said, I don't need to. He's swinging the bat well. Just not getting as many hits as he would like. Right there, good pitch to hit, hammers it. There's your tie and run.
And only 1 away in the middle of the order coming up. Adam Jones has had a single. 5-game hit streak for him now. He's also flied out to right field. He's not only picking up the RBIs, but also he and Nick Markakis have continued to be at the top of the American League in runs scored. And through 33 games, he has had the 3rd most extra base hits. Brady Anderson with 24 in 96 and Cal in 87 with 22 through that stretch of games.
Yeah, that's the year Brady hit 50 home runs back in 96.
Orioles trying to get it tied up or better. Roberts being held by Iwamura at second, jumping around and grabbing Jeff Neiman's attention, so he steps off.
Well, I always felt when you have good base runners at second base, it's easier for them. And we know Brian's very adept at stealing third to get a bigger lead. Infielders have to hold him on. And there he goes.
There he goes. Big jump taken. Yep. He's got it standing.
And you try to make them stop, and then they do that little feint, and you feel like you're going to balk. If you're 6'9" and you're not comfortable slide stepping, it totally messes up your ability to throw it over. And Brian just gets a great read, and now all of a sudden the tying run is at third base with less than 2 outs. Certainly makes Adam Jones a better hitter.
5 for 8 stealing bases. They put a shift on Jones. as they move Iwamura back and over, and Pena over and in. Here's the 0-1 delivery and a cut on a great pitch down and away. Not sure we've seen this defense before.
I think what they're trying to do is you're taking away the check swing to the right side of the infield, and there's that really good slider that you talked about. Just think about the tilt if you can get on top of your pitches if you're 6'9" and throw downhill. And Neiman was able to do it on that one.
Ryan Roberts speedy. If there's a ball that's hit hard to first, Pena will come home because there's nobody covering first base. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Jones takes it down to third, fouls it off. He's hurting. He is hurting. I mean, he's going to have to come out of the ball game. Every time he tries to run in the outfield, it hurts. That swing hurt, and Dave Tremblay's taking a very long look.
Yeah, and what happens is if you pull it longer, you're out for whatever, a month. How many hamstrings have we seen day to day that turn out to be 3 weeks, a month, or whatever? And again, very short in the outfield, but I don't know. They're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah, that right leg seized up on him right there. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and it'll be inside, and a 1-ball 2-strike
and
count.
you're hoping it's just cramping or something, but you just don't ever know.
He's trying to stretch it out again right there.
So you got a wounded bird at the plate. He does lead the club in strikeouts. That's what Neiman's looking for. And then the tie and run at third with less than 2 outs. Fly ball should score him.
1-ball 2-strike count. Outside setup, ground ball first, base hit. Now he's got to run, and not very well. He won't even think about second. It is an RBI single as Jones limps down. He has tied the ball game up, the 26th RBI of the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to take him out right here. Dave Tremblay on this base hit, walks down the other end of the dugout. What an approach. They put that shift on, and again, you know, he's kind of dragging his leg. I think he told Robert Andino to go get a glove. You know, they're going to make some changes.
Got to.
Yeah, you know, Markakis can play center field. You got a lot of choices.
It's tough for the O's, boy, that he's going to be coming out of the ball game, and you just hope it's not going to be for any length of time. But Adam Jones is clearly hurting with that leg.
And that's a double. If he can run, it's a double because it's inside the bag. Nobody down there. So they'll go ice it. Brad Ferguson, who's pitching tonight for the Orioles, gives him 5, and he's going to go get some treatment.
Taking you out. Hold up, Nick.
John Shelby giving him the word. Felix Pie will come on. So Pie, who had the food poisoning and had to come out of the ball game last night, back in here on that short bench, even shorter now. Orioles have tied it up though, 2-2, and only one away in Nick Markakis, who singled and has struck out, stands at the plate. So Jones out of the ball game. Adam hitting .400 against Tampa Bay this season with the 2 hits he's added in this ball game. Diving back in PA, so all of a sudden Neiman very concerned about the pinch runner over there. Has had a stolen base in 3 chances on the year. But Neiman's already seen the Orioles getting enormous leads against him. He's doing what he can to cut that down. Markakis waiting. He'll take the pitch up high for a ball.
And again, you know, Joe Madden would say it, and then the other side of the coin is the Orioles can do the same thing. Joe Madden always says, hey, if we put pressure because we can steal bases at a high percentage rate, you got a slide step. It takes away from your stuff, your command, your location. And right here, you have somebody that can steal bases. I don't know how well Felix Pie feels because of the food poisoning, but it just changes the rhythm of the game.
Yep. Boy, it changes for Neiman. He's one of those guys that the numbers are 180 degrees. Teams are hitting .348 against him if there's somebody on base, and .227 when the bases are empty. So he's really uncomfortable and not very effective working out of the stretch.
This is only his 9th major league start.
1-ball 1-strike count. Again, the throw over. PA without not a very big lead there. He's diving back in, but he's well within reach of the bag. Also may not want to run to give Nick that hole between first and second. that Jones has supplied so often by getting on base with that first baseman holding. Markakis with a 1-ball 1-strike count, 1 away. And that ball grounded right towards Iwamura. He'll go to second. There's one. The relay over to first, not in time from Bartlett.
Well, Nick Markakis to get down the line. Otherwise, this is a perfect double play ball. Again, a little bit slower infield than it is down in Tampa Bay. In fact, a lot. And right here, right at you, Iwamura. You better come get the ball in this. He does. And then Markakis beats it out. Boy, this is the difference between going in and getting the glove or having in a tie ball game coming up to the plate with a chance to put you ahead. That hustle seems like it's so elementary, but a lot of guys don't run balls out hard, and not the case with Nick Markakis.
Nope, every time. 2 down now. Shift is on. Aubrey Huff trying to beat it the other way, shatters the bat. He's looking like, what happened? He's got the handle in his hand, the barrel's behind the plate.
Well, that's what we were talking about with Nick Markakis. There's a sweet spot on the bat, and if the ball is on the end, this is going to be a fastball that you can watch it tailing away. So where does he get it? Right out on the end of the bat.
Boy,
and Tom Hallion, I mean, it's a tough night. He already got hit in the right hand. Got to duck the bat.
That was scary for both Navarro and Hallion, as that shattered bat barrel literally went right between them. Wow. They're smiling now, but their hearts are beating faster. 0-1 count on Huff. Nick Markakis on at first base, 2 down. Orioles have tied at 2-2 on the RBI base hit by Adam Jones, who came out of the ball game after getting the single. Neiman keeping an eye at first now. Markakis. Aubrey Huff takes the off-speed pitch outside, 1-1. And the Rays pin Lance Cormier in the bullpen. Neiman, a 5-inning pitcher. That's what it's been for him, and may not get that far. He does have 2 outs here. Here's the 1-1 delivered. Aubrey Huff, did he go? Yep. 1-2.
So, I mean, you take all his pitches and they grade pretty high. I mean, he's got a pretty good fastball. Does he command it? Yeah, sometimes. Real good curveball on occasion. Real good changeup, which he threw right there. We've seen some real good sliders, but again, inexperience. Of course, he was just supposed to hold the fort until David Price got ready down in the minor leagues.
Markakis back in a hurry.
David Price, their version of Matt Wieters, who came in and pitched so well in the postseason, and he's supposed to get what? I think 5 starts at 75 pitches, 5 at 90, and then bring him to the big leagues. But he's having trouble with his pitch counts down at AAA Raleigh-Durham.
1-2 delivery on the way. Breaking ball inside. Aubrey with the 6 home runs, and 5 of them have been hit here at Camden Yards. Part of that Oriole home run barrage, now up to 38 here at home. He'd love to do it here. You see the shift as Iwamura is way out there in right field, the second baseman. Aubrey plunked one the other way last time towards short. 2-2. It goes that way again. Left field. That's going to fall in. No! Great catch made by Carl Crawford. And the defense in this game is going to be a highlight reel. Huff denied a base hit and maybe an RBI on Crawford's play as he backhanded that and showed the umpire he had it. 2-2. o'clock, Masson HD. And we're going to test your Orioles knowledge with a special Who Am I on Covering the Bases. Visit HomeDepot.com/spring. More saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot. Who's that? Tomorrow,
who is it?
From Kansas City. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. Here's Navarro and takes the pitch outside. We are tied at 2-2 going to the 5th inning.
An Oriole?
I hope so. Although, as they say, who would know?
Aubrey Huff.
Aubrey Huff. Really? All right.
I don't know. I got to.
This is what we're going to do tomorrow night.
Trying to think who we did last year because we're not going to.
Who is?
I
who
can't tell. There. Dave Tremble. No?
No?
No.
I don't.
Player?
I don't know.
You really don't know?
No, I
yes,
really don't know.
Oh, come
no,
on.
I don't. I don't know. We didn't get the answer.
Everything.
They just gave me the copy that had the question,
we maybe
not
go
the answer. Usually you can tell the eyes will show you. So the eyes tend not to change a whole lot. Here's the 2-1 delivery to Navarro, and that is outside. So tomorrow we'll give you a bunch of Who Am I's.
Very pensive look.
Very pensive look.
Brian Roberts.
No.
No.
That's what I'm saying. No.
Okay.
I don't know. And that is a strike on the inside corner, and it goes to 3-2. It is not Navarro. We can be sure of that, however. He's got the wrong uniform on.
Sorry, Deanna.
Not you.
You're on your own.
That's right.
Back in Tampa Bay tomorrow.
Ferguson's delivery taken in the air towards center. PA is there, and he's got it coming into play center with Adam Jones out.
Once again, pretty good defense because you play him that way, pitch him that way, even though it's 3-2. Closest that Brad Ferguson has come other than the intentional walk to walking somebody.
1 down. Good ball game here. Both these starters, but their points had some problems, but have been able to regroup, get around it.
Well, 67 pitches going in with 1 out in the 5th inning. So the one thing, if you look at Brad Ferguson, if you look through the minor leagues, he very good record, as we mentioned. Last year was 16-7, but he's always given up more hits than innings pitched. The walks are way down. I mean, in 479 minor league innings, he gave up 504 hits, but that never bothered him from throwing the ball over the plate. Only walked 86. That's like one every almost 5 to 6 innings. 304 strikeouts, kept the ball in the ballpark, and that's why he's in the big leagues.
And he has walked only 8, including 1 intentional in this ball game in the 25 innings that he's worked so far for the Orioles. Top of the order, base hit. Upton last time up, 1 for 2. B.J. Upton takes the pitch. And a 2-ball 1-strike count. Upton to be followed by Crawford in this 2-2 ball game in the 5th inning. Ferguson's delivery to him, breaking ball. That will miss, and he falls behind on Upton. 3 balls and 1 strike. Upton with a couple of hits now and 15 at-bats against the Orioles. Tampa Bay coming into the ball game with a 278 average against the Orioles. They have out-homered the Orioles 12-8 on the season. So these two ball clubs in these games have only 7 of them have really pounded out the home runs.
Well, that was trying to get number 13 right there.
Yeah. He ought to just try and get the average maybe first. He hasn't had a home run yet. Fouls it back.
Well, again, Steve Henderson, we talked a little bit about last night. When you have labrum, and that is really the thing that kind of holds your shoulder into place. I don't know. Steve said they kind of put some staples in there to hold it and whatever. And your front arm, if you're a right-handed hitter, is your left arm, obviously. That gets you to the ball. So the swing probably a little bit longer. Still trying to build up strength in that shoulder.
3-2 delivery to him. He got around on that one. That'll be a hit. With his speed, he'll make the turn. Montañez a fine play. Here's a throw to second base. Got a chance. And in there, as I think Brian Roberts stumbled a bit away from the bag as he tried to put the tag on a real fine throw and a great chance and a double in any event.
Yeah, great angle right here. Montañez gets to do it very quickly now. It looks like Brian right here catches it, and then I guess the throw was probably a little wider. It didn't look like it from up here, but again, trying to reach. He doesn't get a good angle and trying to hold the base, and So again, good approach by Lou Mondes. At least makes it close.
Come on, come on. Tag him!
John Shelby in our Wired Wednesday. Brian Roberts was trying to continue to hold the bag, keep his feet spread over the bag so he could make the tag, and the ball was just far enough away that it pulled him off. Now Carl Crawford. So Upton may be coming around. Double and a single, 2 for 3. He's at second. Potential go-ahead run. Crawford has flied out and grounded out in the ball game. 17 RBIs with a .331 batting average.
And then also Upton, when he's coming around first, has the option of seeing where the throw is. But Brian's got to catch it. You know he's probably going to go to the outfield side of the bag because the throw is on the inside.
Chopper to short. Runner not going. And gets the out. That was close. Historis almost had Upton right in front of him on that. And there are 2 down. O's reliever Brian Bass will be at the Chick-fil-A location in White Marsh on Campbell Boulevard on Saturday, May 30 from 11 until noon. You can come meet Brian, get some autographs, talk a little baseball. That's May 30, a Saturday, 11 till noon, Chick-fil-A in White Marsh. For details, visit OriolesReach.com. There's Brian, who was outstanding. The bullpen work last night. He pitched 4 solid innings, gave up just 2 hits and struck out 1. As the Orioles would get the win, and so would he. He's 2-1 on the year now, beating Sonnenstein, the Tampa Bay starter, last night. Sherrill getting a 6th save. 2 down, still a runner at second base. Ferguson again trying to work his way out of this. Now has to face Longoria, who has grounded out twice to short.
Sharply. Both of them fastballs. One to the right of Historis, one to the left.
Longoria, the leading RBI man, with 45. Runs batted in on the season.
How about 29 in the last 15 games?
And just a tear. How long can he keep that pace going is obviously the issue. It's very early in the season. Trying to keep up with Roy Campanella of the 53 Brooklyn Dodgers. At this moment, at least.
And he made an interesting comment. I was asking him, did you always stand that way? He said, no, last year I was a little more crouched. But he said, and again, you look at the veteran present. We talked about Eric Hinsky. We talked about a name I didn't talk about, Cliff Floyd. Floyd didn't play a lot last year, but he had some big at bats for him. And he said, you really have to stand where your hands are comfortable. If you get a little bit older, he said, my hands were high, but I dropped them because I wanted to be a little bit quicker to the ball. And Evan, he's in a comfort zone here. Open stance, a little bit different than last year, but certainly working.
Seeing the ball. Jim Genteel of the Orioles, somebody who had this kind of a start to his season. Big Jim, 1961, 12 home runs, 40 RBIs, hit .322 through the first 34 games. Right up there with the numbers Longoria is putting up right now. Jim would have a career season that year. 2-1 delivery on the way. Genteel ended up in 1961 third in the American League with 46 homers, second in RBIs with 141, and third in slugging and on base percentage.
Of course, that is a year that Maris broke Babe Ruth's record.
And so
Norm Cash hit 40-something. Mantle hit 53.
Yeah,
it was a huge year.
Genteel got overlooked as the primary story was the Maris Mantle race, and he gets him. Ferguson gets his 3rd strikeout, and none bigger than that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A runner left on at second base. Good ball game, tied 2-2.
Is Charm City Seafood. It brings the best of the Chesapeake Bay to the ballpark, serving made-to-order crab cakes and several local microbrews on tap. So if you're hungry, check out Charm City Seafood. Gary?
And I am
going to check it out.
Ball game tied at 2-2. This game can't get over in time for some players, I guess. Now we got another change. Zobrist has come on to play. Carl Crawford has come out of the ball game for Tampa Bay, and Zobrist is playing in left. Crawford grounded out that last inning, 0 for 3. Didn't see anything wrong, but obviously there's something because he's not just being replaced. Here is Melvin Moore, who tweaked the knee earlier on a fine defensive play. Moore has popped out and done it twice. Once denied on a great catch by Pena, leaning into the Orioles dugout and doing a headstand as he made the catch. 2-0 count on Mora. Melvin now at 250. Orioles trying to win this game, take 2 in a row, and have a 5-2 homestand if they can get this win. Jeff Damon's delivery to him is outside, 3-0.
You know, they've had action in their bullpen, and it appears somebody's going to get up and throw it again. A pitch count has a lot to do with that, and the fact that Neiman, good stuff, bad control, doesn't command it well. And go back to that first game he pitched, the grand slam by Melvin Moore, so he should get a good pitch to hit here.
He's trying to at least get through 5, and Moore somehow got a timeout. He saw something out in center field, or at least wanted the home plate umpire to think he did. And he got the timeout. Neiman ready. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and Moore takes it to center field. Upton. Moore is retired. One away here in the 5th inning. The Orioles on this homestand with a 4-2 record have hit .309 during this homestand. They've averaged 5.5 runs while giving up 4.2. The starters have gone 1-1, while the bullpen has 3 wins, a loss, and 2 saves during this homestand, and the Penn's ERA is 3.18.
I think that's, yeah. Don't you think that's what Dave Tremblay was talking about? That things are coming a little bit better together. Bullpen's been better. Starting pitching, with a couple of exceptions, has been better. Offense has been better. Now you just have to do something you haven't done well, which is 2-9, the last game of a series. Win this game, go on the road, improve your pitching.
Popped up by Lou Montanez to first base. Pena, he's got it. And what the Orioles will try and do going to Kansas City for the road trip, they go to Kansas City for 4, New York, and then Washington for 3 each, is improve those numbers on the road. That batting average significantly different. The runs per game, not a real big difference there, but the ERA, that's where you see the difference home and road.
Yeah, and I know everybody, it's not like the NBA where you get the home court advantage or whatever. They get to bat last, but all you got to do is play better. I mean, that's hard to do, obviously, because if it was easy, everybody do it. The amazing Jim Hickey coming out, and he's done a terrific job with his pitching staff. Last year they went from about 5.5 runs down to about 3.7. So right here, I mean, it's probably a good for a young pitcher, and even though Neiman's 26, young as far as experience, a lot of times you get too quick out, and then all of a sudden the game speeds up. So Hickey goes out, slows it down, because you're in a tie ball game, and the guy at the plate's already at a home run and a double.
And has ripped them, both of them, right on the money. Ty Wigginton, off-speed pitch up high for a ball. His second home run came in the 2nd inning, and then Ty delivered a double in the 3rd. He's the designated hitter in this ball game. 1-0 delivery. As Amber reported earlier, Luke Scott is not available. Tried to hit tonight and said he just didn't go well. And Felix Pie, who probably would just as soon have set this game out, has been forced to come in, with Adam Jones having to come out of the game, apparently tweaking a hammy. So Pie is in, and a 1-ball 2-strike count on Wigginton.
Well, the slider got hit for a double. The fastball get for a home run, so they throw him a couple of big curveballs and a 2-seamer that sinks down and in.
Changing up in the approach to Wigginton. 1-2 delivery to him, and the breaking ball will miss outside. 2-2. Wigginton has legitimate power. One of the reasons the Orioles picked him up. A couple of home runs now and 11 RBIs. This is a yard you would expect he would hit very well in. So far, it hasn't been that way. 2-2 delivery on the way, and swung on and missed. That is just the second strikeout Jeff Neiman has. He sets the Orioles down in order, 5 complete. Hidden fees. And by Honda, you can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing. Gorgeous night here, Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Birdland, a very pleasant place to be, and the Orioles in a 2-2 ball game. 2-5-0, 2-8-0. The two starters still in the ball game. Brad Bergeson has walked one intentionally. He has struck out 3. Home run picked up by Bartlett in the 3rd inning, and an RBI single by Gross that came in the 4th, accounting for the 2 runs off the 23-year-old right-hander.
Yeah, and it all started with Carlos Pena hitting a double. They tried to come in, didn't get it in. He doubled up the gap, would eventually score on that Gross single into right.
Pena's 6 for 24 with a homer off the Orioles this year, and add another. That's going to be in the corner. Nick Markakis going over to get it on his way to second base. Pena, and he will go in with another 2-bagger. So another double, this one to lead off the 6th.
And again, the point I tried to make, he's pitched very well, but is the ball sinking or is it just a low fastball? Look at the target, and he misses by about a foot. So again, it's right in the power swing of Carlos Pena. So almost both of the pitches, if we went back and showed you both swings, are almost identical. And the pitch selection's about the same. Didn't mean to get it there, but he did, and Pena takes advantage of it.
So the potential go-ahead run is on to lead off the inning. Here's Ibar, who's been walked intentionally and lined out to second base. Nobody out. Ibar, despite a hot bat, has not been able to get the runs in. He's only 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, and he has Pena out there. Moeller's going out to have a word with Bergeson.
I think a lot of it has to do with location. If the target is on the outside corner, you try to encourage your pitcher as a catcher to throw it there. And Ibar's trying to get him in or over. Hit a ball to the right side.
And he does. That's going to be a base hit into right field. They'll wave around Pena. He'll come on to score easily, and it is a 3-2 lead, Tampa Bay. So Ibar continues hot. It's only his 3rd RBI, but it will put Tampa Bay up by 1.
Yeah, the thing that I concern myself about Brad Bergeson, he throws a lot of strikes, but what happens when you get a lot of left-handed hitters in the lineup? Saw it with Joel Alexander when he came in the Frank Robinson trade. And until he came up with a curveball and slowed the bats down with a changeup, second, third time through the order is a little bit tougher to pitch. And I think Brad's just finding that. He's got to make better pitches. If he does, he'll get a double play ball, maybe get out of the inning.
Now runner at first base, still nobody out here, and Ibar back to the bag. Pena has scored. Gross, who delivered an RBI in the 4th inning with a single, stands back in.
I mean, 5 of the next 6 hitters, or that he's going to face this inning, if it goes that long, are left-handed hitters. So Joe Madden, Crawford's also left-handed. Longoria, it doesn't matter what he's hitting with, he's going to be in the lineup. You got a lot of left-handers, and they try to match up against Brad Burdick. And if you don't get him the first time or the second time, you just hope that he'll make better pitches as the game progresses. And Tampa Bay is just hoping the opposite.
Crawford a lefty, Pena a lefty, Iwamura a lefty, and then you got the switch hitters, Navarro and Ibar in the lineup. So a lot of moves Madden can make, and makes it tough on a pitcher and makes it tough on the opposing manager to make many changes.
And then the only lefty the Orioles have in the bullpen is a situational lefty, Jamie Walker, other than George Sherrill, your closer.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Gabe Gross. Adam Jones, the report is, left the ball game with a hamstring strain. And Jones out of there, and that'll obviously be one of those day-to-day things. The Orioles may have to take a look at this roster depending on what happens overnight with Jones, whether PA feels better, and whether Luke Scott's actually going to be able to play in Kansas City or not. They were hoping he'd be available today. There he is swinging the bat down there. He took batting practice but didn't feel as though he could hit. Slow tapper. Ferguson will look to second base. Low throw. Nice play as Torres. He had to backhand that one, and they get the force out. That is the first out here in the 6th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Chris Ray in the bullpen, first action for the Orioles pen.
So Ferguson makes a nice adjustment, and he makes a nice play. You know you're not going to turn a double play, but throws him a changeup. Last time sinker for a base hit to Gabe Gross, and then the only play he had got the lead runner at second base.
Akinori Iwamura. Iwamura has grounded out and flied out in the ball game. 1 down, runner at first base. A run in and a 3-2 lead. Just a good ball game and a tight one here. Quick throw over. There's a move that'll catch a couple of runners going the wrong way. Watch Ferguson. That'll take a half a step, if not a step, off that lead at first by Gross. He's not a base stealer, but trying to keep the double play in order here. That one hit in the air towards center. PA going over, won't have a play. Will cut it off and hold the runner at second base. So a single. Iwamura's on. Runners at first and second now with 1 away. 4 up in the inning. 3 have reached. And this is where Bartlett has become such an important part of the order. You've got a hitter who's in the top 10 in average and is hitting home runs. He got his 5th in this ball game, and he's batting 7th or 8th. It's 8th tonight. That's a lot of charge for the bottom third of the order.
Yeah, and Rick Kranitz is going to come out and talk, the Oriole pitching coach. I mean, just think about how you got Jason Bartlett. Everybody talks about all the young players. Well, he is young, but again, you get Garza, you get Bartlett. You make the Delman Young trade. Delman Young is 21 years old, gets 186 hits, drives in 94 runs. They figure, you know what, we have some other young players. We'll deal with right field, but we could use a starting pitcher with an unlimited ceiling, and that's what it looks like Garza is, and we need a shortstop. They go from 117 errors to 90. The pitching staff's ERA goes down about almost a run in .7 in 1 year. And Garza becomes a star in the postseason.
And Bartlett, a star right now in their lineup, hitting at .358. He'll foul it away. Runners on at first and second, and 1 away. He's part of this speed power combination that they have. Bartlett is 4th in the league in infield hits. Crawford, of course, is 1st. Bartlett also steals bases. He is 8 out of 9 in stealing bases. So he brings power, speed to a lineup. On at second base, Gross. Iwamura at first. Good slider, swung out and missed. 0-2.
Well, that's how they got him out last time, and first time up, homered on a belt high fastball, and one of the better pitches he's made all night long, other than the fastball low and away to Evan Longoria, was the low and away slider that he threw Jason Bartlett.
29-year-old shortstop with a chance to add a run here if he can get a base hit. 0-2 count on him. Ferguson will step off, getting Gross back to the bag and try to get the ground ball here to double him up. Bartlett is hit into one. Ground ball double play. Grounds this one towards short. Play at second. Not in time. As Torres deep in the hole could not get there. Iwamura hustling down, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, I was thinking that the only play Torres really had was at third base. Take a look, and kind of hard right here. Now, if he goes to third, he may get Gabe Gross, but there is no way. Iwamura, again, part of being a good base runner is not just stealing bases, what kind of jump you get. And if you get a good jump, you get that primary lead, good secondary lead, you're going to beat that ball out.
I've been told Carl Crawford is left with a bruised right shoulder. And Crawford out of the ball game with Zobrist, who came in to take his place. Now Navarro, number 9 hitter up, bases loaded, one away. Infield will stay back, trying to get that ground ball double play. A 3-2 lead for Tampa Bay. Navarro hitting just 183, but he's done some damage against the Orioles. Delivery to him, hit in the air to right field. Markakis going back, will get there. Runner tagging is Gross. He will score. Throw will come into second. Iwamura goes to third, and it is a 4-2 lead for the Rays. Well, he got the job done.
Well, he did.
The second run of the inning.
And Dave Tremblay is finally going to come out of the dugout, especially the kind of at bats that B.J. Upton has had. But again, situational hitting. The Rays do a good job of it in this inning.
Credit Navarro in the number 9 hole with the RBI. That'll send the Orioles to the bullpen. 6 runs batted in for Navarro has resulted in a 4-2 lead. So the Orioles down by 2 now, and it'll be Brad Bergeson watching. 5 2/3 innings, giving up the 9 hits. The 1 walk was intentional. 3 strikeouts. Gave up a home run to Bartlett, and Chris Ray will come on to try and hold the game right here.
Yeah, game of matchups, and Chris Ray good against the Yankees. Struggled in a couple of starts before that 5 real good starts coming off Tommy John surgery. And he says the key to his windup is tall and fall. Big guy, stand tall, get the arm up and let it go.
Upton 0 for 3 against him. Runners on at first and third. 2 runs in here in the inning. Iwamura, the lead runner, at third, and Bartlett on at first base. 1-0 count. Runner goes to second. They fake the throw, and it'll be a stolen base for Bartlett. One of the easier ones he will get on the year. Chad Moeller, the decision already made before he took off that they would not throw through and risk that run being scored.
Well, they're like the Angels. They're going to try to run you out of the ballpark. You take the force play out of the equation. Base hit's going to probably score 2 if they get one. And if Ray throws the ball like he is. The one thing that Chris has had trouble with is a little bit with command but velocity. I don't know. A lot of people thought that after you go through the process of Tommy John, some guys come back throwing harder. Haven't really seen that, but when he gets on top of his pitch, we've seen good break on the slider, good splitter, and good life to the fastball.
Right-handers hitting only 143 off Chris Ray. The left-handers had limited at bats over 500 off him. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Upton. Now there are 2 in scoring position. Upton has singled and doubled. Tampa Bay hoping this may be a sign that bat is coming around. He's hitting 174. And swings at one that Ray just blew by him. So that will do it, but a couple of runs in on 4 hits, 2 left in scoring position. 4-2 Rays.
Second home run of the season. Bartlett ties his all-time career high with 5, tied up 1-1. Gabe Gross single into right field would make it 2-1, and then Ibar after Pena. A couple of doubles for Carlos Pena tonight. He scores as the Rays, not the Jays. You can see right there, Rays with a couple of runs in the 6th inning. Lance Cormier, who pitched last year for the Orioles, coming in, who's having a terrific year for the Rays, and leading the majors in innings pitched, coming off an appearance in Boston where he retired 11 of the 12 batters he faced and only been scored on in 1 of the 7 appearances. So a long man that, as he did with the Orioles, he knows how to pitch. It's just a matter of really being able to get ahead of the count, and he's done a nice job for the Rays.
The left-handers 231 off him, right-handers 277. He has surrendered only 1 home run, that to a left-hander. And on the season, this will be his 2nd appearance against the Orioles. He's worked 2 1/3 against the O's, given up no runs on 2 hits. Good ball game, 4-2, and for Jeff Neiman, he hung around long enough to get a chance at a win. Couple of runs on 8 hits picked up by the Orioles against him. He walked 3, struck out 2 in 5 innings. Orioles have the homer by Ty Wigginton. RBI picked up by Adam Jones in an at-bat after which he had to leave because of a hamstring strain, and PA came on in his place. So the Orioles looking for a comeback. Moeller will lead it off as Torres, and then Roberts will follow against Cormier. 0-1 delivery. Right-hander gets it in for a strike. Chad Moeller has popped out and flied out. Cormier will be a come-at-you pitcher, too. He likes to get that first strike in and isn't afraid to challenge to do it. 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball that he puts down in the dirt.
Well, the pitch he has that is very effective. You don't see a lot of overhand curveballs in the major leagues, and he has one of them. He cuts it a little bit. And they got a guy that came out of the Atlanta organization that the Orioles picked up, had some shoulder problems. And
Chopper. One down. And we'll check in with Amber.
Gary, quick check on the minor leagues. A good night down in Norfolk. They get the win behind Chris Tillman, who pitched 6 scoreless innings. He struck out 10. Also at the plate, Nolan Rimo continues to be very hot. He went 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and 1 home run and 1 RBI. He's now batting .396 on the year. Also, Oscar Salazar, good night. He went 3 for 5 with a double. Gary?
.396 for Rimo, the same guy that hit 6 home runs in spring training?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Think he's on the list? Short list?
I don't know. We'll see.
And the pitch is taken down low. You want that pressure from down under, as they say.
Oh, it's coming.
Keep that pressure on. It forces better play by those who are here, and if they don't.
Well, it gives you options, too, as you know, and nice to have options.
Real nice. A 2-0 count. Orioles down by 2, need a base runner. Is Turris 1 for 5 off Cormier, is singled in this ball game. 1 for 2. He's also picked up a stolen base. 2-0 delivery to him. Fastball taken up high. And a 3-0 count.
Yeah, Lance last year, as you look at Brian Schouts, the veteran left-hander that they picked up, about a walk almost every 2 innings. Again, he would get himself in trouble, but again, the stuff pretty good. You know, low 90s, cut, curveball, changeup, a little bit of a slider.
3-1 delivery on the way, taken by Turris. That is a strike as well, and the count will go to 3-2. So Cormier comes back against the Orioles shortstop Brian Roberts, waiting on deck, 1 down. Bottom half of the 6th inning. 3-2 delivery. And Turris will foul it away.
I mean, you look at Tampa Bay, in 2007, they had the highest earned run average of over 6 runs per game in 50 years. And, last year they bring in Wheeler that year, Balfour. Then last year they have an ERA 3rd best in the American League. They got Percival's healthy. They get Cormier. They get Schauss. They get Joe Nelson, who was terrific with the Marlins.
Shortstop probably, or a collision. Yeah, it was a collision. And it's caught. Longoria. We gonna have another one here? We've already had
tall guy gets
5 injuries. Longoria and Bartlett colliding.
Well, if they'd say he's going to be the next Brooks Robinson, so how are you going to win 16 Gold Gloves if you don't hog the ball a little bit? Better angle for Bartlett. He's yelling all the way. And he's just taller.
That's really a shortstop ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you circle the better angle.
Much better chance. Yeah. Apparently he's all right. You mentioned the name of somebody we want to make sure that we say hi to tonight, and that is Brooks Robinson.
Yep.
Our beloved favorite. The numbers that came out yesterday before a cancer group talking about his win, apparently, we hope, in remission.
With prostate cancer and how he got it treated. And
we wish Brooksy all the best, and as only he would, in a class way, comes out, talks about it in order to help others in a program with people who are helping prostate cancer victims deal with it. That was the group he met in front of. So, Brooksy, glad to hear it's going well.
It really is. And, of course, I think some of the things he said about it, if you have questions, you got to ask him. Otherwise, you just don't get the information you need. Well, again, that's what you try to do. I mean, take personal experiences and let other people know that it doesn't matter if you're in the Hall of Fame, things happen, and just try to deal with them and try to help people be able to do that.
I stopped using the word hero regarding athletes a long time ago because for the most part you do, but I don't. As a broadcaster, I don't know people well enough to use that term. I'll use it with Brooksy. A strike taken right there by Brian Roberts. He is retired. Cormier gets the K, retires the side in order. It remains Tampa Bay up by 2. games. As we said, they've led in every game on this road trip and gone 3-3, and the Orioles know about comeback with this offense.
Yeah, and that's what the Orioles are hoping for. I mean, the Rays last year, they were so good in one-run games, 28-19. New season, you got to try to play that. We talked about the battle of the bullpen last night. The Orioles won that one, 7 scoreless innings. But again, you're very much in this game, and you know, Chris Ray, this is a great opportunity because he's going to maybe get to stretch himself out a little bit for an inning or two, and then again you go on the road trip. So it's a big game. You're in it, and it's really anybody's game. And I go, you know, Percival, he's been around. So you're going to probably see him if it stays close, and that's what you want to do if you're the Orioles.
Zobrist is getting his first at bat here as he came on to play for Crawford, who had to leave with a shoulder problem that we did not see exhibited in the game that came along somewhere. And now the Orioles will hope that Ray, as you said, he only had one out to get in the last inning. If he can go a couple here in this ball game, it would really help. You don't want to go too deep here tonight and have to reuse guys who played last night.
Well, again, you know, Baez only pitched an inning. You do have people that are out there, but I think the important thing for Dave Tremblay, other than worrying about Adam Jones' hamstring, is just to keep this game in hand. And of course, they have the bullpen to do it. And again, like we said, you know, Tampa Bay, when they played well last year, their bullpen was good. We're going to see the back end of that bullpen tonight.
Baez, Tremblay has not used back-to-back. He has said he doesn't want to or hadn't. Whether or not he's ready to do that remains to be seen. Zobrist puts that one into the gap. Nick Markakis going to have to chase this one down. So Zobrist, that's what he's done all year. Put him in at second, put him in left, putting him in right, get him to the plate, and he'll deliver for you. He's been a very big part of this team as a role player.
Well, take a look at Exmo's swing, and if we went back and looked at all the hits their left-handers had tonight, with maybe one or two exceptions, the ball's going to be right in that zone. Again, the Exmo allows the bat head to the ball. If you're a left-handed hitter, all you do is drop the bat head. So we saw Pena do it for a couple of doubles. We saw Gross do it, ground ball singles. So again, it's a matter of when left-handed, most of the guys are low ball hitters. If you make good pitches, you got a chance to stay out of that zone. Tonight, that has not been the case for the Oriole pitchers.
And now a big moment, Jim. We talk about big moments in ball games that come at any different point. Here's Longoria up with a chance to do some damage.
Yeah, you know, you wonder. I mean, he's got 45 RBIs. He's got 29 RBIs in the last 15 games. You know, his approach is not going to be moving the runner over. He's going to try to get him in.
That's the pitch that he's been chasing tonight, that the Orioles have had continued success with. That slider or breaking ball that's down and away. And you see Ray put one that's literally in the dirt. And tonight, the usually patient Longoria has not been patient on those pitches. And it's an 0-2 count on him. Runner off second base. Roberts trying to hold Zobrist. And the fastball will miss away. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Evan Longoria. RBI leader in an RBI situation. This is right where Tampa Bay would want it. So Ray needing to get some big outs here against the middle of the order in the top of the 7th, with the Orioles down by 2. Set up outside. Delivery is there. And Ray bringing some heat. And Longoria's retired, and Ray's got 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, the Orioles have made some nice adjustments. They know that Evan Longoria, in fact, the whole league knows, the whole baseball world knows, and this is going to be a split-fingered fastball that just tumbles, is that he can hit the high pitch. He's a good fastball hitter, mostly inside inner half. You know, right here they're going to walk Carlos Pena after a couple of doubles to set up the double play. Even though it's not a sure thing with Ibar, who's been very, very hot and has gotten some big hits in these 2 games.
The Orioles, worth noting, there have only been 2 walks issued. Brad Bergeson gave up only 1, and it was an intentional walk. And Ray, first walk, and it is intentional. Of all the improvements the Orioles pitching staff has had, perhaps none more important than the fact that last year they were last in the majors, averaging 4.4 walks per 9 innings. This year, 3rd best in walks per 9 innings, as they've dropped it down to 3.22. Only Minnesota and Toronto's staff has done a better job. I mean, that is such a big deal without putting those walk runners on.
Well, it really is. And again, if you're trying to upgrade, as Tampa Bay did last year, your defense, it's easier to play behind somebody, Brad Bergeson. And there's your situational lefty, Jamie Walker. You've got Gabe Gross right after Ibar. So, but again, Chris Ray, he's, you know, power pitcher, but how does he get his double plays? If that's indeed what you're trying to get here, that's with that split finger fastball.
Gets the strike on Ibar. Ibar singled an RBI, walked intentionally, and lined out in the ball game. Ibar's not faced Ray before for an official at bat. First and second, one away. Game now where the little things really matter a lot, and the pitch is taken down low. And this is, as Jim noted, what Dave Tremblay was talking about when we had him on in our Wired Wednesday. Better ball games, a little more relaxed. Games are under control. There are things you can do. You can make some moves. You can manage. Guys know there are plays that have to be made. Situations have to be dealt with. And this one's been dealt with rather successfully. In left field, Montanez is there, and there's a very big out. 2 down.
So then you got to make a decision if you're managing the club. Do you trust Ray? Jamie Walker's this year, the numbers against collectively left-handers is not as good as he would like, or his manager. But I think at the end of the day, if Chris Ray is going to be where he was before the Tommy John surgery, he's going to have to get righties and lefties out. And there's no reason with his stuff, if he makes good pitches and it's about execution, he shouldn't be able to do that. And how do you ever do it if you don't get the opportunity?
He's going to get it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, Gross has nothing batting wise, 0 for 1 against each, so he really hasn't faced either. That one hit hard and caught right into the glove of Aubrey Huff. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 are left on. 7th inning stretch time, brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. Just to sign up for Little League Day coming up. It'll be on Sunday, May 31. The pre-registered Little Leaguers get to parade around the warning track at Camden Yards before the afternoon game against the Tigers. Sign up your team. Contact the Orioles 888-848-BIRD, or you can go to Orioles.com for complete details. Again, that's on May 31 for the Little League Parade, which is always a great time with kids like that. Gloves on hands. And they're on the screen. Yeah. Oh, man. Come on, look at yourself. That's Evan Longoria in the orange jersey there with the Baltimore jersey. Quiet.
So the 40-year-old left-hander last year with Milwaukee, he came on actually in the game where they hit 6 home runs back-to-back against the Yankees off of Rivera. He was the oldest Ray to ever win a game. 8-6 win. He's been scoreless. He's got a very unusual windup, and again, last year was the 4th straight year that he had pitched 60 or more games, 69 appearances for the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League.
Trying to bunt his way on. It'll be fouled back as PA will get his first at bat in the game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. He came on for Adam Jones. Adam had to come out with a hamstring strain after picking up an RBI single in the 4th inning. Jones had a 2-for-3 ball game, but in beating one of those out at first base, he clearly tweaked the hammy, so that's going to be a day-to-day. Chaucer drops down, as you see on that delivery, takes the count to 2 strikes.
He started in 1990 in Welland. wherever that is. Pirates organization. 13th round draft choice.
He's made a career of it, hasn't he? That's called staying power.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was up with the Pirates for, what, 6 games in '93, then didn't get back to the big leagues till '98. Then it was in the minor leagues all the way to 2002. Then in the minor leagues to 2003 for just, maybe a cup of coffee, as they say.
He is very tough on the left-handers when you drop down like that, even if you're not throwing particularly hard. The mind doesn't want to stay in there, doesn't want to leave that body looking at that baseball coming in from the first base side.
Right-handers are a little different story, aren't they?
And you see it. But boy, left-handers looking at him, it's tough. They're hitting only 174, as Jim said, off him. Ground ball off. Maybe the glove and into center field. Good job. PA picks up the base hit, and the Orioles get the potential tying run coming up in the person of Nick Markakis.
Stay along with our Expo camera right here. He's first time up. He's going to hit a single to center off of Jeff Neiman. Next time he needed a strikeout, Neiman throws a really good curveball. What does that camera tell you? How the ball just eludes the bat? Next time up, bounder to the right side for Nick. Hit it sharply, but right at the second baseman, Iwamura.
So the Orioles down by 2. Markakis will take it inside for a ball. PA gets back to the bag. Nick is hitting .385 here at home this year, .292 on the road. One of the many Orioles who's taken advantage of this home yard. And Markakis, .273 off lefties. 1-0 delivery to him. That's going to be in there for a strike, and it is 1-1.
And how about the balance of his hits? He now has 14 to left, 17 to center, 14 to right.
And so intentionally in a lot of those.
Yeah, and you could talk about using the whole field, but he does it.
And he gets those line drive hits the other way, forcing the outfield to play straight up. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Markakis, the chopper. This one, Schaus grabs. There's one relay, and there is a huge double play. Schaus fielding his position, and there are 2 down.
Gary, it seems so simple on the ground ball back up the middle. Brian Bass didn't make a good throw, but just look, now you're in holes, you're throwing uphill because you're down the slope. But again, you practice this all spring long, so get yourself seated. And again, the real quick separation, and Bartlett right there. And the reason you try to keep your hands together, because if somebody's a little bit late and you separate your hands, it is very difficult to make an accurate throw.
That is only the second ground ball double play that Nick Markakis has hit into. So 2 down after getting that leadoff man on, wiped out by the double play. Aubrey Huff, he has singled, walked, and been denied a hit on a great play out in left field by Crawford before he had to leave. And in fact, thinking about it, that's probably where he strained his shoulder.
Yeah, it was a ball that looked like he may have trapped it, and then maybe not. It was a very difficult call. Todd Titchener, who umpired behind the plate, third base umpire, went out there, made the call. It appeared he may have gotten it right, but certainly easy to jam your shoulder.
And Crawford had to come out of the game for Zobrist. 0-2 delivery. Huff reaching to keep the at-bat alive. 2 strike count. Strong ball game here. A couple of the finals today included Cliff Lee getting a win over Mark Burley of Chicago. I told Jimmy before the game, we're talking about it. Backwards win. Lee's now 2-5, and Burley suffered his first loss, 5-1 for the White Sox.
Because apparently they hooked up last year. Cliff Lee won the Cy Young Award in the American League. He was 22-3. Burley was 1-5 last year, and Cliff Lee beat him early on in the season. Of course, Halladay beat the Yankees on 103 pitches.
They reversed the numbers today. 1-2 delivery, and that'll miss inside for a ball. Ryan Zimmerman hit streak ended today against the Giants. He did get a chance in a last at bat in the 9th inning as the Nationals won 6-3 in their ball game. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Aubrey Huff. Huff will lace that one to left, but an atom ball. Zobrist in, and he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base, 7 complete here at Camden Yards, where the Rays lead the O's 4-2. Stadium at Camden Yards are going to receive the Adams Jones bobblehead, a unique bobblehead you see right there showing Adam leaping for a catch in center field while blowing a bubble. It'll be a big collector's item. Don't miss out. Get your tickets in advance. 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. That's on June 17, interleague play against the Mets.
Jamie Walker,
Walker.
15th appearance. You can see the numbers. A little bit of a struggle against lefties. Not a lot of at bats. Only 24 batters have faced Jamie Walker. And now what'll be his 15th appearance. Lefties 5 for 12. That's a little bit higher than he would like. One of the home runs, a home run by Robinson Cano on Sunday. And then the righties actually a little bit more effective against right-handers this year, at least so far. Keep it where it is, within striking distance.
Couple of at-bats left for the Orioles. Akinori Iwamura 1 for 11 against Walker. Grounds this one to first. Walker, though, is not going to win this race. It'll be an infield single. Iwamura is on with his second hit of the ball game.
Well, again, if you fall off and you have a runner that is a little bit like Ichiro Suzuki, where he's out of the box on the run and he's got good speed. Akinori Iwamura, part of his game is off. Now watch him. He's out of the box. In the minute that Brian Roberts doesn't catch that ball, I mean, you tell your first baseman, you go get it, I'm going to be over there. But it's very difficult. And we saw Jamie Walker because he falls off towards third base. Fast runners are going to beat him to the bag. And that's exactly what happened.
So the leadoff man is on. Here is Bartlett. And the throw over to get Iwamura back. Bartlett's 2 for 8, including a home run off Walker. And in this ball game, he's hit a home run. His 5th came in the 3rd inning. He's also singled 2 for 3, 6-game hit streak. He's had 4 hits in the series and 7 at bats. And he shows bunt, takes it inside. That'll bring Mora in. McCrory up in the bullpen, the right-hander.
Yeah, Joe Madden and his Rays are trying to add runs, and they have a lot of options. Iwamura doesn't steal a lot of bases, but you have a guy that can handle the bat you can bunt him. Even though Navarro not hitting particularly well behind him.
Has one sacrifice and is going to have maybe a base hit. Walker knew he was going to have to hurry and tried to hustle it out of the glove and never got it out.
Well, this is the speed factor of the game. Whether it's stealing bases, whether it's bunting, it puts pressure on the defense. And right here, again, you know, you got a backhander, you got to get it out of your glove. Jamie doesn't do that. And Huff is, you know, of course, playing first base for the first time, so you have to make a very early read, and the quicker you are coming out of the box, more difficult it is, not only for the pitcher, but especially for the first baseman.
So the first 2 up here have gotten it done, as Iwamura and Bartlett will be credited with singles. The hits are now to 12 for the Rays. Runners at first and second with nobody out, and you got to believe Navarro is going to be asked to bunt as well. Navarro's got 3 sacrifices. He actually leads the Rays in sacrifice bunts. And this is another tricky situation, as Mora will have to make a decision at third base with the lead runner Iwamura at second, whether to field it or go back. He doesn't. Got to go to first. And you saw Walker wanted to go to third, but Mora had already moved in. Sacrifice.
Yeah, they put on the straight defense, so nobody's covering third base. A lot of times Melvin will go in, then go back, and Jamie Walker will cover the leg. But yeah, he would have had a chance at third. Nice bunt by Navarro. Gets it down, because that's all he needs to do.
We said the little things at this time of the ball game, crunch time, come into play, and have they ever here in this inning with Iwamura beating out little infield chopper. Bartlett laying down the bunt, getting a base hit, and a beautiful sacrifice. McCrory will come on with 2 in scoring position and 1 out. Who has delivered a home run, a double, and it could be Bartlett. He's had a home run and 2 singles in the ball game, and Carlos Pena, a couple of doubles, 2 runs scored. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 518-62. Bob McCrory out of the bullpen. The infield will be drawn in with runners at second and third. Iwamura, the lead runner, and Bartlett on. And the top of the order, Upton, who has doubled, singled, 2 for 4. The Orioles not wanting to surrender the run here, and they're going to get a chance. Moore is up, play at the plate, throw is there, tag on, ball held, and they got him. Iwamura going on contact.
Captain Melvin catches it. McCrory makes a nice pitch. You got the infield in. Upton does not get an RBI. He'll be off and running pretty soon right here. Good pitch down and in. Good fastball from McCrory, who's got one. Snap throw on the money. And you get to him earlier, and you can see Chad Muller said, "You're not running over me." And again, an accurate throw allows him to do this. He just pushes him off the plate and then holds on to the ball. I think you try to get you try to get your hand in there to hold it.
Now Upton probably will take off for second base with Ben Zobrist up, 1 at bat. He singled. Came on for Crawford, who left the ball game with the shoulder strain. The pitch is taken away. Zobrist hitting at 264. Runners at first and third, 2 down, so the Orioles defense can back up now. And McCrory with a chance to get out of this inning and keep the game at 4-2. Way outside, Muller out to get it.
Yeah, Bob McCrory, power arm. He pitched very well down at AAA Norfolk this year. Last year he was 2-3 down there. Worked his way up. 4th round draft choice back in 2003. And just sometimes will get out of sorts with his windup. There we go.
The step and look.
Didn't work.
2-0 count on Zobrist. McCrory, couple of innings Friday against the Yankees. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss away, and the count goes to 3-0 on Zobrist. And you don't want to be doing this with Evan Longoria in the on deck circle.
Not a good idea, especially when you're a high ball pitcher, even though you do have a sinker and he's a high ball hitter.
And laid it in, gets a strike call. 3-1.
Well, he laid it in at 94. And the one thing they liked about Bob McCrory, when he can get on top of his stuff, good movement. We really haven't seen him be able to, in the situations he's been used, use that good changeup that he has.
Runners off first and third. Runner goes at first, and the pitch is ball 4. So McCrory really has set up a situation here. That's the first walk unintentional by the 4 Oriole pitchers. It loads the bases for Evan Longoria with 2 down in the 8th inning.
And the 2 runners that he's given up in scoring position happened down in Tampa in his first game. And the guy at the plate was Evan Longoria. Threw him a first pitch fastball. He hit a ground ball between third and short. Drove in a couple of runs. So you certainly know from the scouting reports where he likes it. Can you get it out of that area?
RBI leader stands in, and the pitch is in the dirt. Muller makes a nice stop on it. A 1-0 count. Longoria has not had a hit, 0 for 4, and he has struck out on sliders away the last 2 times up. Bartlett got a single. He's on at third. Upton, the fielder's choice, at second, and the walk to Zobrist at first. And now McCrory's got to get Longoria.
Yeah, and that's difficult because he may not. His strength may be Longoria's strength, and if that's the case, so be it. Let it go. And there's your outside corner. Yeah, nobody's going to hit that pitch. 97, easy. But if you try to make Bob McCrory do something he's not capable of doing, and again, he hadn't pitched in the big leagues long enough to really be able to discern that, you go away from his strength. His strength is right there. 97, 94. Let it sink. Trust it.
Longoria with the bases loaded. 1 grand slam, 4 for 6 this year. He has picked up 12 of his 45 RBIs in bases loaded situations. And he's got another one here in the 8th. Orioles, they can keep this at 2, well within striking distance. But Longoria trying to open it up. 1 ball, 2 strike count. McCrory's delivery to him. Longoria to right field. An Adam ball taken by Markakis. No runs, a couple of hits, no errors. 3 are left on base. Started with Mora early. Carlos Pena, magnificent catch, leaning over that railing. Brian Roberts would deny a base hit, maybe a double. Diving catch. Crawford sprained his shoulder, had to come out of the game on that. Then the collision. Shortstop Bartlett, Longoria. Line drive with runners on to Huff, and the play at the plate by Mora that may prove very big in this game as they got Iwamura and have held the score at 4-2 going to the bottom half of the 8th. Dan Wheeler, 31-year-old right-hander.
And Joe Madden, he's hoping he's going to do what he did last year when Percival was hurt on a number of occasions. He had 10 saves, 13 on the year. He had 26 holds last year, which is the role he assumes tonight. Only Scott Shields of the Angels had more in the American League. They traded for him in 2007. Came over from Houston as they tried to revamp their bullpen. Did a terrific job for him.
He worked last night 2/3 of an inning, coming on to get a couple of outs at the end of the ball game. The Orioles will try and get to him here. Melvin Mora will lead it off. Montañez and then Wigginton due up, bottom of the 8th, down by 2. Mora put the ball in the air all 3 times, couple of pop-ups and a fly ball to center field. This one in the air to right field, going back close and makes the catch. Boy, the defense tonight has really continued throughout this game.
A very unheralded play. Last year, I mean, he had 13 home runs. He had like 4 walk-off hits. Seems like every time he got a base hit, former quarterback out of Auburn. Oh, a good athlete. And again, you come in, you make what you think's a good pitch, and then it's even a better pitch when your right fielder runs it down. Otherwise, it's extra base hits, and the Orioles are off and running.
1 down. Montañez has walked 0 for 2, has popped out, flied out, hitting .231. Check swing, look out. Oh my gosh, right off the facing of the dugout. Orioles need that base runner to get the potential tying run on here in the 8th. Wheeler 0 for 2 is Montañez against the right-hander after using the bullpen deep last night. Belfour, Howell, Nelson, Wheeler all came on. Madden trying to coax another bullpen through this game and get a win. Fouled off and a 2-strike count. How tough is it to repeat? We've talked about the difficulties Tampa Bay's had. They're 15-19 coming into this game. You look, it's Tampa Bay last year, the American League champs, the Red Sox, Detroit, Chicago, Boston again, New York. New York's had the run 2000, 01, and 03, but repetition is not common, and it's very tough to get that pennant. The short off season and the long work that's put in, especially by pitchers.
I mean, Joe Madden talked about expanding your mind, and once you do that, you don't settle for less expectations, and it's certainly a great point. But there was an article where they talked about after the Bucs won the Super Bowl, boy, they went downhill, lost the close games. I think 5 games by 3 points or less. The Lightning, they collapsed. Now, obviously, not the start you won if you just won 97 games, but kind of interesting. In that same article, they said Eddie Arcaro said, you know, it's real hard to get up in the morning and go to the racetrack when you're used to sleeping in silk pajamas. So you touched on it last night. You know, season went longer than they ever did.
2-2. Yeah, I think it's just very hard. You never get rested. You talk with clubs that win in any sport in this day and age, and the first thing they say to you is, we're tired. The start of the next season, we're already tired. It just wears on you. You're worn out. You didn't get to stay home very much. You had a lot of chicken banquets you went to and celebrations, and you didn't get through the season anyway. And the next thing you know, you're playing again, and it's like, wait a minute, what happened to the off season? 2-2 delivery, swung on and missed, fooled him and got that one by him. Wheeler gets the strikeout.
Well, you got a veteran reliever who's been in 70 or more games the last 4 years against a kind of a lamb up there, a young kid. One thing about Dan Wheeler, he makes good pitches. He's not about velocity. I think he's going to be 88, maybe 91. He's got a good slider, good changeup. He's going to try to stay out of the middle of the plate, and he throws a lot of strikes. But the one thing to the credit of Tampa Bay, they didn't sit pat. They did make some changes.
If you sit pat, especially with pitching, you're going backwards. Here's Ty Wigginton. Wigginton laces that one into right field for a base hit.
There you go.
Third hit.
Third hit. Told him you're going to have to figure out how you get him. Home run, double, and single.
Well, he keeps the inning alive. Greg Zahn is coming on to pinch hit for Chad Moeller against Wheeler, representing the potential tying run at the plate. Zahn 1 for 3 off Wheeler. Orioles collect their 10th hit, so another night of hits. 22 hits, but only 6 runs. The Rays have left 11 on base, and the Orioles have stranded 8. Orioles have left the bases loaded once. Tampa Bay has left the bases loaded twice, and the pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner. 2 down. Is Torres, if the inning continues, would be due up next, but there are 2 down. Zahn has been hitting the ball hard during this homestand. 0-1 delivery to him. The big cut and a 2-strike count.
Yeah, aggressive hitter coming off the bench, back-to-back splitters. And the second one, even though the first one was pretty good, even better. You know, aggressive hitter, splitter looks like the fastball. Gary Crowley, the hitting instructor for the Orioles, one of the best bench hitters. You got to sit around and then just come up and don't always get a real good pitch to hit. Zani hadn't had one yet.
Zahn hitting 400 in the month of May. Takes that one in the air to right center field. Upton is over, and he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 8 complete here at Camden Yards. Tampa Bay leading it 4-2. 7 yards. We go to the 9th inning with Tampa Bay looking to take 1 out of 2, while the Orioles are still looking for the sweep. Orioles 4-2 in the stand. Bob McCrory will stay on. Gave up a single in the 8th inning. He will face the middle of the order. Pena, Ibar, and Gross are due up. He gave up a walk, rather, in the 8th inning after coming on. Walker, a third of an inning, couple of hits, nothing across. Ray, an inning and a third. A hit, 2 strikeouts, 1 intentional walk. Brad Bergeson, the starter for the Orioles, 4 runs, 9 hits over 5 2/3 innings. 1 home run. Bartlett got it. Showing bunt, and will take the pitch. If he lays one down to third, he's on. He can walk down, but I don't think Carlos Pena is going to bunt.
You can see right there already a couple of doubles. Both of them low fastball. I mean, it's a great experience for Bob McCrory because he has a chance to come in. He's got one of the best left-handed hitters, especially power hitters. See what your stuff, how it matches up. Again, it's so simple to tell a youngster how to get a guy out, but at the end of the day, you still have to do what you do best. So he's got a changeup, he's got a slider. He started him off with it, but he's a fastball pitcher at this point in his career.
2-0 count. Orioles with that shift on against Pena. Each time he's hit the double, he has scored in the ball game. 2 for 3, intentional walk, 3 hits, 7 at bats in this series. And Pena now with 8 hits in his last 25 times up this season. Orioles this year 2-9 series finals. They have started strong and then not wrapped up the last game of the series. This only a 2-game set. 3 ball, 1 strike count on Pena. Pena, 7 of his home runs have come on the road. He's got 13 total. Delivery to him is going to be foul back.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. He's looking fastball. He gets one and he's still late on it. So again, if you're a young pitcher and you come in and catcher puts down slider and he's a veteran catcher, you usually throw it. But if you don't get it over, now you're into a hitter's count. Now a hitter really is looking for your stuff. So again, that's one of the things you have to figure out when you come to the big leagues. Again, what's my strength? To me, McCrory's a fastball pitcher.
3-2 is inside, and the leadoff batter is walked. So 2 walks surrendered by McCrory. This one a leadoff walk in the 9th inning.
And again, it all started with that first pitch slider for ball 1. One wild. I mean, Wild has thrown it off the backstop, hitting people.
But it wasn't a strike.
Nope.
Willie Ibar, who is the DH. RBI single. Intentional pass is lined out fly. He's got an RBI. Gross has an RBI single. Bartlett has the home run RBI, and Navarro's got an RBI sac fly. The 4 on the board. Orioles got theirs. Jones an RBI single before he had to leave with the hamstring strain. Home run by Ty Wigginton. The 2 for the Orioles. And the pitch way up high with a fastball, falls behind 2-0. So tonight it has been the bullpen for Tampa Bay. Cormier, Schaus, and Wheeler, who have been able to hold the Orioles off the board. The 2 runs scored against Jeff Neiman, the starter. 2-0, looked at it, called strike, 2-1.
Yeah, I get the idea. When I was playing for Cal Ripken Sr. in Aberdeen, South Dakota, Billy Hitchcock had been fired as the Oriole manager a couple of years earlier. And he came up, he was still working for the club, and after I pitched one night, he came up to me, and I'd never met him. He introduced himself, and he said, young man, he said, you don't have to throw every pitch as hard as you can. I was 18 years old, and I said, really? I never knew that. I'm glad you told me. And there was Cal Sr., and of course, and then, you learn little things like that. And, McCrory's one of those points now. You come up, you're in the big leagues, you got a great arm. You're not a pitcher, you're a thrower right now. You got to figure out how I can start to get a little bit more toward you want to be, which is to pitch.
Yep.
And a lot of that is experience in innings.
Here's a 3-2, runner not going, and it is foul back. Well, these are the ball games the Orioles want to get in the W column. I mean, this is a ball game. It's still up for grabs. This is a ball game you had a chance to win right from the get-go. Trying to put away these ball games. The Orioles have not been able to do it. If they don't get those 4 runs up on the board, they're 0-11 and they've scored less than 4. Runner goes up high, and that's another walk. So McCrory's created a problem here with 2 walks. Nobody out, 9th inning.
And with Troy Percival, their closer, up, you want to make it difficult for him. I mean, you can't make it a 1-run game because you trail by 2. There he is. I mean, one of the great relievers of all time. You know, he's an old warhorse, but he can still get it done. He's 5 for 5 this year. But make him have to work for that save. And then obviously the way to do it is not to give up a couple of additional runs here.
Now McCrory needs that ground ball double play or a strikeout here. Gross a single and an RBI, 1 for 4. He has driven in 6 on the season. Bob McCrory, 27 years old. The delivery on the way, and that is taken for a strike. Last year, just 8 games at the major league level. His first games pitched at the major league level, coming up through the Orioles organization. 1 strikeout on Gross. Iwamura on deck. And the delivery is a fastball away. And the count goes to 1-1. Tampa Bay has had their chances. Or with 11 left on base in the game, the opportunity for that one big hit that it would have made a big difference is still there. The Oriole pitchers have been able to work around it. And McCrory's trying to do it here in the 9th. That is on the inside corner. 1-2 on Gross. Pena at second base. Ibar at first. Gross has got power. He's got that outfield back straight away on him. Montañez, PA, and Markakis left to right. Check swing, and he went around on it. Didn't even have to wait for the call. So there's the strikeout, 1 down.
Yeah, first breaking ball over. And again, if you get ahead, it's a lot easier to throw that breaking ball. You don't have to throw it for a strike. And you can get hitters to wave at it. And that's what he does. And it's a hard slider. Well, maybe a little flat, but great thrown in a great location. Of course, he had just thrown 96 up and away and running away from it.
Now Akinori Iwamura. Iwamura batting at .284, 12 RBIs, and takes the pitch low for a ball. He has singled his last 2 times up, 2 for 4 in the ball game. Big runs right here on both sides of this ball game, with the Orioles getting a shot in the bottom of the 9th with 9-1 and 2 up in the order. Slow roller, not touched by the pitcher, and Roberts gets it there in time to get the out. Pena goes to third. Ibar down to second.
You get the idea of how quickly he gets out of the box. You know, the last time he beats that out. And again, a very slow infield. You better come get it. And that's what Brian Roberts does, but Corey can't get it. Bob out of the reach, snap throw, and
one more to be had to hold those runners on.
Now, who do you want to pitch to?
Bartlett or Navarro?
Well, and the difficulty for Dave Tremblay, who's managing the Orioles, is basically, okay, I got a young pitcher with a power arm, maybe not the best control. And right here, Craig Zahn out there to have a little conversation. What do we want to do? Now, Navarro obviously a couple hundred points lower, or at least almost a couple hundred points lower than Bartlett. But if you pitch around Bartlett, then what do? You load him up. No place to put him. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's see how they work to him. Bartlett with 2 singles, a home run, 3 for 4, 6-game hit streak. And the pitchers take it inside for a ball. Bartlett hitting .393 with runners in scoring position to start the year. He finished at .297 in that department last year.
Well, you're talking me into this right now.
Yeah, well, I know. But he's got a strike, 1-1.
And a better fastball hitter than breaking ball hitter. And McCrory doesn't really, even though he did strike out Gabe Gross on a slider, that's not one of his better pitches. He's more comfortable throwing the fastball. Even though they have first base open, so they can try to throw the slider. There it is.
In the dirt, held on to. Big jump at third here. If anything gets by, Pena is coming off that bag a long way, looking for a pass ball or a wild pitch. As Moore is playing way back with a right-hander up with power. 2 1 strike count. Down to third, skipping over that one, the runner, Carlos Pena.
And this tells you right here, if you're Greg Zahn and Bob McCrory, as we take a look, you can see Pena in foul territory where you need to be. How good a fastball hitter he is. Hard to throw the ball up in the zone by him.
6th best number for an average off a fastball in the major leagues. 2-2 delivery to him, way outside. What a stop by Zahn. Oh.
Boy, the Caps needed him tonight, didn't they?
Woo. That's a save the Caps didn't get.
I'll tell you, this is about as good as it's going to get right here.
Contortionist.
And it's not starring Jack Nicholson. Greg Zahn doing the number behind the plate.
2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down.
I called him a scrappy something today, because he's a feisty, scrappy guy.
And that one's going to get away, and that run's going to score. That was ball 4. And McCrory has walked 3 in the inning. One of them has scored, and it comes on his wild pitch. So he's been his own worst enemy here in the 9th.
Yeah, trying to do what he really is not comfortable, and that's throw a slider. He pulls it off, doesn't stay closed. He knows he's got to stay with that front shoulder a little bit closed. Greg Zahn tries to get in front of it. That ball's so far outside, and you can see the effort. Pena is going to make it 5-2. Still a save situation, but not what you wanted to do, obviously.
That is 4 walks McCrory has surrendered since coming on in the last inning. Deontay Navarro. Navarro sacrifice fly, sacrifice bunt, is flied out, struck out. Runners at first and third, 2 down, and a very big 5th run put on the board here in the 9th inning, without a ball being put in play as a hit. In fact, only 1 ball put in play. Iwamora's ground ball out. 0-1 the count. And the pitch is down low. Ibar with good speed at third, and Bartlett at first. $13,237 the announced attendance at Camden Yards tonight, wrapping up the homestand for the O's. 1-1. It was one of those ball games where both teams had to scrap it out. Explosive opportunities, such as happened in last night's game, big run innings, haven't happened. Here's the 1-1 delivery up the middle. What a shot. Ibar will score. PA will get it in. Navarro gets an RBI single. 2 runs in the 9th, and it is a 6-2 lead.
Yeah, Deontay Navarro, who last year hit 295, big part of their success, starting to get hot.
Larry Kranitz will go to the mound.
Well, Cranny's done a nice job already. He's fixed Brian Bass and worked on his mechanics. He's changed George Sherrill. All of a sudden, George was throwing 93 last night. He hadn't done that in 2 years. Got him to use his legs. So the one thing that Rick Kranitz has been able to do, along with Alan Dunn, the bullpen coach, is to make some adjustments with guys. And Bob's just going to have to, learn what those adjustments are. Again, it's nice to have that kind of arm that can throw 97. You just have to harness it somewhat.
That's 13 hits in the ball game now for the Rays. Now Upton with runners on at first and second base, and 2 down. Damage coming with 2 away in this inning, even though there were 2 leadoff walks. McCrory did get a couple of outs on a strikeout and a ground ball, but then the walk to Bartlett on a wild pitch scored a run, and the RBI single by Navarro adding another. 0-1 pitch. Upton has had 2 hits, a double and a single, and 5 times to the plate. So like Navarro, he too may be ready to start his offensive game, hitting at just 171 right now. Probably as much a matter of confidence for Upton as anything else. Trying to get the feel back, and once he starts hitting, his Madden believes he'll be all right. Madden said.
Oh, he's such a good fastball hitter. He's a good on-base percentage guy. Terrific center fielder. Can steal bases. 44 of them last year.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. A strike outside corner. 2-2.
And Gary, you've seen young players come to the big leagues. I mean, 2 years ago he had 300, hit 24 home runs, moved from the infield to the outfield, learned how to play. And of course, if you're a young player or an older player, you still have to prove, okay, was that a career year or was that a starting point?
Always the question.
Yeah.
That one's up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Coming around to score the third run of the inning. Bartlett in, and an RBI base hit, and a 3-hit ball game for Upton. And here is that big inning Tampa Bay has had a shot at throughout. They find it in the ninth.
Yeah, and they've been not a nice job of just figuring out that Bob McCrory's not going to throw much other than fastballs. And when they're in the middle of the plate, as it was to Navarro, who singled up the middle, now Upton. And major league hitters are, well, they don't get fooled too often on, even if it's in the mid-90s. They just time it.
So credit Upton with just his 4th RBI of the season. Navarro picking up an RBI, his 6th. So unlikely RBI candidates here in the ninth. Zobrist is the 8th Ray to hit. They now have 7 runs on 14 hits and a 7-2 lead in the ball game. Zobrist a single and a walk after coming on for Crawford, who left with a strained shoulder on that catch we showed you that he made in the outfield. Orioles will be regrouping after the ball game. They head to Kansas City for a 4-game set, and the O's are going to have to wonder about the hamstring that Adam Jones has, whether or not Luke Scott's going to be available or not. They did get an answer on Felix P.A. He had to come in and play center field, so he's playing, but Dave Tremblay's not sure exactly what he's going to have come tomorrow in Kansas City for available players. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Runners off first and second. Zobrist with a big cut and goes to 1-2.
And when you go to Kansas City, not easy to hit. They got the best pitching staff in the American League to this point.
And a big ballpark that they field pretty well in too. 1-2 on Zobrist. 3 walks in the inning, and they've all scored. Ground ball up the middle. That is going to be a base hit. Navarro will come around. No play at the plate. Another RBI. This one for Zobrist. And it is an 8-2 lead.
Well, as you mentioned, it started with the walks, and now it's, what do I do? Hard thrower, try to hit the ball back up the middle, and they're putting a clinic on. Nothing really to slow the bat down. And you can see right there, it's just up right here. Ben Zobrist, hey, for a utility guy, I mean, he hit 12 home runs and 198 at bats last year. That's pretty big numbers. He can play everywhere. It seems like he's actually, no, he came up. He played shortstop a couple of years ago. Started out last year and was hurt early on, but very comfortable playing in the outfield.
He's got 14 RBIs and about a third fewer at bats than the rest of the regulars. So very productive.
Well, super sub, switch hitter. I mean, he was a terrific guy to have on your ball club.
Longoria takes it in the air to right field. Going back, Markakis at the wall, and he's got it. But in the ninth, Tampa Bay bats around and put up an 8-2 lead going to the bottom half of the ninth.
Trying to get the sweep. Looks like a long shot.
Well, Bergeson had a pretty good start. I thought he changed his tempo a little bit tonight, which kind of changed the outcome for him, but still not a bad effort on his part.
Stay with us. Buck Martinez will join us. We'll look at Bergeson's night as well as Adam Jones as the Orioles look to come back in the bottom of the ninth. Back to the booth and rejoin Gary and Jim.
And Jim, thanks very much. It is no longer a save situation, but Troy Percival will come on to try and finish it up anyway.
Yeah, hadn't pitched since last Wednesday, so again, not a save situation. As you mentioned, 5 for 5. And how good is he? Well, he's got 357 lifetime saves. That's 8th on the all-time saves list. Jeff Reardon is in his sights with 367. Hadn't allowed a run in his last 8 appearances all the way back to the 17th, so he needs to get some work. Obviously, that's about what this game is. Get him on the plane, get him back to Tampa. The Orioles go to Kansas City.
Orioles are not going to see this team again until August. The schedule that has bunched so many games together with singular opponents is true for the Rays and the Orioles. The Rays, this is going to be their 22nd game against the East. If they win it, they'll be 12-10 against the East, and their next 21 games are going to be out of the division.
Yeah, I think our next off day is June 1st. So, you know, and it's kind of interesting when you play a lot of games when you're not playing up to your capabilities. And of course, they came in, you know, after winning 97 games, 4 games under 500 at 15-19. You want to get on a hot streak. You want to get home. They played so well there last year with 57 wins. And when you're winning every day, you love coming to the ballpark. When things are not going your way, well, that's when you need the off days.
They have gone 6-7 at home to start. Just 13 games played in the Trop. The Orioles, what looked like might be a 2-run differential, got expanded by 4. And the Orioles will have Torres leading it off. He is 1 for 3 with a single. Troy Percival ready to go. For McCrory, an inning and 2/3, 4 runs, 3 hits, 4 walks, 3 of them scored. Had a strikeout. Right now, a long time ago, Jeff Neiman pitched in this ball game. The starter who went 5 innings. He's got a chance to be the winner. Torres is going to put that one into the gap. He's on his way to second base, thinking about 3. He's going to go for 2, trailing here in the bottom of the ninth. The leadoff double for Torres.
Yeah, nice little compact swing. I mean, Percival, he's got the curveball, the changeup. You can see right here, 91, middle of the plate. He's trying to get his work in. I don't know, they always talk about how, again, if you're working on adrenaline, it's a little harder to get pumped up with adrenaline when you got a 6-run lead, but you still want to pitch well. And for Troy, it's about using all his pitches and staying. You're going to be up in the zone. You want to do it when you're ahead in the count.
Brian Roberts has had a double. A walk has been called out on strikes and grounded out. Brian hitting at 283 now. Will take the pitch away. Percival coming into the ball game. Opponents hitting 273 off him. Only 1 home run. Troy Percival and the 5 saves. 8 2/3 innings worked. The delivery is in there to Roberts. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, the Orioles are hoping that Troy Percival feels the same way around about a 6-run lead as George Sherrill feels about a 4-run lead. Never had a 4-run lead I felt comfortable with.
1-1 pitch down low. Well, the Orioles are trying to get to that magic number. They've got to get to 4 runs here, give themselves a chance. There's a rally cap hoping. Orioles 14-8 if they get 4 or more. 0-11 if they don't hit the 4-run mark. 2-1 delivery on the way to Roberts. Hits it deep to right field. He got all of that way back, and goodbye home run, Brian Roberts. A 2 RBI homer. 5 on the season. The Orioles cut the advantage by a couple.
Hey, screamer into the seats. And again, a 91. Knee high in the middle of the plate. And a hitter's count. And there's the Exmo swing. Pat head of the ball, just crushes it into right center field. Good home run.
Yeah, 8-4 ball game. So Bryant's had a solid night. Homer, double, walk. Felix PA batting in the 2 spot for Adam Jones. Has singled in his only plate appearance. Adam came out with a hamstring strain. Orioles needing base runners, and PA with a home run cut. 1-1. PA with 1 home run, couple of RBIs. He only had 2 extra base hits, the homer and a double. And he takes that one deep to right field. Back to back. Goodbye. Home run. He's now got 2.
Well, he's not tricking him. But I'm not really sure with a 8-2, now 8-5 lead, that home runs aren't better than walks. The Orioles still have to pull the trigger, and boy, are they ever doing that. But he's got middleitis, and Jim Hickey, his pitching coach, going to come out. Again, the Exmo, boy, you'd like to see a few more of these. Look at the extension through the hitting zone by Felix PA. What food poisoning?
Yeah. So the Orioles, who came into the ball game with more home runs in their home ballpark than any other American League team, have added 3 more. They've now hit 40 home runs this season here at Camden Yards. But that 9th inning, where Tampa Bay got 4 runs on 3 hits, as hurt. J.P. Howell is up. Roberts a homer. PA a homer. 3 up, 3 on, 3 in. Nick Markakis. He will take the pitch for a ball. Percival. 1 home run off him prior to this inning.
Well, that's what, when you're 39 and you're inactive, hadn't pitched since last Wednesday. You know, you lose your feel, you lose the late life, all the things that are important when you're not as overpowering as you used to. And he really hadn't used any other pitches other than his fastball. No, he does have a changeup. He does have that big curveball.
1 ball, 1 strike count. See Markakis being the big pro here. I mean, Mark, after the home runs, Markakis came up looking for a walk. That's what Jimmy was talking about. Right now, it's getting a potential tying run to the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, they got J.P. Howell up throwing.
Tough, the left-hander waiting on deck. 2-1. Strike called. Tough pitch inside corner at the knees. 2-2. Well, Markakis now will have to protect. Still nobody out here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Percival with a 2-2. Markakis waiting on it down the line. Zobrist coming. And 1 away. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. So far, Ty Wigginton, 73% of it, as he's had 3 hits, including his 2nd home run. You can still text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. The results coming up on O's Extra on the postgame show. So Percival will work now to Huff with the shift put on. Aubrey will take it for a strike. Huff has delivered a single, has walked. Robbed of a hit by Crawford in the 4th inning on a fine catch in left field. That one will skip away.
Well, I think the next homestand, all you got to do is kind of do what David Ortiz did, is just come out here. You know, when you're taking your hitting, just poke a little bunt down the 3rd baseline, and they won't be playing you wherever you are. Obviously, in 600 at bats, you want him bunting, not swinging, because he's that good. But all you have to do is get on here at 3 runs down, and there's nobody even close to the left side of the infield. And Longoria is out on almost on the grass at shortstop. There he is. It's the 3rd baseman.
Absolutely right. I mean, any way to get on here is what matters. Taken inside, and the count will go to 3-1. Huff to be followed by Mora, and Montanez due up. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles battling here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And he rips it right at short hop. Gross gets away. Huff's thinking about 2. You better make it. And he does.
Whoa. Batting practice here in the 9th. And here comes Joe Madden. Boy, is this ball hit hard. You know, Gross with a 3-run lead can take the gamble. I mean, you could see him get it right off the heel of the glove. Actually, yeah, and he can't quite pick it up, and he will make a good throw, and you better make it. Down by 3.
Oh, the Orioles not going quietly. They have their 14th hit of the ball game. J.P. Howell is going to come out. Only a third of an inning worked by Percival. 4 hits, 2 home runs, 3 runs so far, and responsible for Huff, who is on at second base. So if the Orioles can get one more on, they'll get that potential tying run. Brian Roberts, his 5th home run, 2 RBIs. PA a home run, his 2nd, and now Huff on at second base. We'll come back bottom half of the 9th inning, and the O's making a run at the Rays. A wild bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 26th left-hander, J.P. Howell.
Yeah, we saw him last night. A couple strikeouts, a hit in 2 innings. He was very, very good, as he was last year when he won 6-1. Most strikeouts by a left-handed reliever, 92. So he can punch you out. This will be his first save attempt this year. 3 for 3 last year.
And Melvin Mora with Huff on at second and 1 down, bottom of the 9th. 8-5 ball game, and the pitch is inside for a ball.
And the numbers are kind of unusual. Last year lefties hit 188 off him. This year they're hitting 429. He's been more effective against right-handed. And how's he do it? Big overhand curveball. Now it moves the fastball around the strike zone, and he's got that great changeup.
He now is in a save situation here in the bottom half of the 9th inning, with Percival getting hammered. 1-0 delivery, swung on and fouled off. The off-speed pitch had Melvin Mora way out in front of it. Melvin has faced him before, a couple of hits and 7 at-bats off Howell. Tonight you saw the 0 for 4. Melvin hitting at .243. The Orioles need to get one more on to get that potential tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. Aubrey Huff the double on at second base. Howell with the 1-1 delivery. And it's taken, and it's up high. Melvin's hitting .261 off left-handers. He's had a home run each. One against the right-hander, one against the left. More action in the bullpen. Grant Belfour.
Yeah, he came in as a long man last night, pitched a couple of really good innings.
Howell pitched 2. Belfour pitched 2. This is where Joe Madden did not want to go in this game. The guys who worked 2 innings in the bullpen last night, but the Orioles have forced it here in the 9th. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Mora, foul ball, 2-2.
And Howell, another guy that they traded for. In fact, they took Joey Gathright, who the Orioles just acquired, traded him to Kansas City. And they got Howell, who had pretty good minor league numbers. As we told you last night, started at the University of Southern California, went down and started at the University of Texas. Not overpowering, but just, looks like he's got a pretty good sense to pitch and 3 pretty good pitches to be able to do it with.
He led the majors in leaving runners on base that were on when he came in last year. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Mora drills it. That's going to be a base hit. Aubrey Huff's going to score easily. Mora will make the turn and stay with an RBI single, and the Orioles have cut this lead to 2 in the bottom of the 9th with only 1 away.
I talked about the curveball. This wasn't a good one. Room service, belt high, inside corner, into the corner for a double. And that just shows you got Balfour. Aubrey Huff's going to easily score. He's in a running mood here in the 9th.
The Orioles really tearing the cover off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Melvin Mora picks up the RBI, and the Orioles have made it an 8-6 ball game. And here's Lou Montanez coming up with only 1 away. Melvin Mora getting his 13th run batted in of the season. The chant is Lou. And he's on top of that one. Strike 1. Montanez only 3 hits and 21 at-bats against left-handers, while he's hitting .375 off right-handers. J.P. Howell now responsible for Mora. 4 runs charged to Percival. Montanez slow roller foul. Howell gets up on the count 0-2.
Well, you think it's too much to ask, kind of what the Yankees pulled off on Sunday. A couple infield hits and a 3-run blast and go home. So get in a plane with a win.
Only happens about 3 or 4 times a year for even the best major league ball clubs, that you actually win a game in the bottom of the 9th, much less when you're 6 runs down. 0-2. Montanez slow roller. Melvin Mora out at second. No relay. Fielder's choice, and there are 2 down.
So Wigington is faced. Is Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, going to run out to talk to J.P. Howell? He's only faced Howell once. He's 1 for 1. No extra base hits. And there is the pitching coach for the Rays.
Wigington has just stung the ball in this game. He has a home run, a double, and a single, and has struck out.
Yeah, he's hit the ball real hard tonight. Started with a home run, then the double, and then went the other way for a single.
Upping his average.
So he's actually got a chance to hit for the cycle. Where can he hit it?
Rattle it around in the center field wall.
And you know they're playing very deep, because the last thing they want with a 2-run lead is a ball over their head. So B.J. Upton, who plays about as shallow as Adam Jones, is way back there. Everybody's a couple of steps deeper, as they should be.
2 down, 9th inning. Runner at first. Wigington, the off-speed pitch is up high for a ball. 250 against lefties, 179 off right-handers coming in. 1 home run.
Well, you're one hanging curveball away from tying the game up.
And Wigington, the way he's hitting it tonight, probably the best shot in the lineup to do it. Breaking ball, take it inside. Howell falls behind, 2-0. Zahn is the on-deck batter if this inning continues.
And I'm sure Jim Hickey had a little conversation about how do we want to pitch it. You're not going to give in to him. Not the way he's swinging the bat.
2-0 delivery. Outside corner strike. 2-1. A 4-run 9th inning so far. All 4 charged to Percival, who worked just a third of an inning and gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, including 2 home runs. Roberts and PA, the homers. 2-1 delivery to Wigington. And to third base. Played by Longoria. The force out. And this one's in the books. And the big 4-run ninth inning proved to be what Tampa Bay needed as they win this one by a score of 8-6.